everybody out there in TV land. The time is now just after 7 p.m. and no matter where you are
in a video store.
That's right, Stephanie. The only place online, probably not, but for now, yeah, sure. The only place online to pretend that you're in a video store with your friends. This is a show for people who miss hanging out in public, talking about movies with friends. So here we are to hang out in public digitally and talk about movies with you. This is a very chat-forward show. We love that you're here. Already see a regular with Pathos. What up, Pathos? Got an answer for your chat. I'll get to it in a second. What did we do here? Well, wait, let me back up. I'm one of your two hosts, Adam Protextor.
And I'm your other host / video store employee, Stephanie Thoreson.
That's right, and we as clerks of this video store love being asked for recommendations. In fact, that's how this show originally started, was me on Facebook just giving recommendations to friends. We love talking about movies, and we love movies, and we love people who love movies. The only rules are, don't be a dick, don't judge someone for having not seen something, don't judge some movie that you haven't seen. And other than that, we break it down into 3-act structure. The first act is, what did you watch this week? We're going to ask you that question. We're going to tell you our answer, and we're going to discuss. Then we're going to move on to new arrivals. Got some real fun new arrivals tonight. Spoiler alert, we just got a region-free Blu-ray player. Well, it's coming tomorrow.
Alert.
Player. Spoiler
alert.
We should get a sound effect for that. Spoiler. We have a region-free... as many of you, I'm sure, know, a lot of movies are not released in the States, and as a video store, we want a big physical inventory, so we're amping it up. And the funny thing is that the Region B, that's British, DVDs and Blu-rays arrived before the player did, so we're going to unbox those before we even have the ability to watch them. And then at the end of the night, or rather, I should say the third act, we are going to talk about this movie, Coco, which we watched last night and was our movie club pick, and then we'll pick a new movie club pick for next week. As always, please follow us on Instagram. The show is at You Are in a Video Store. Twitch, the channel, UltraLoop that you were on, I can't get my words today, is at UltraLoop Twitch. I am at Protextor.
And I'm at Flock_of_Smeagol's.
Which is right there. There it is. Good timing.
And if you see me hanging out in the chat, I am at DJ Stephanie Michelle.
Is Parappa going to rap? Always. I actually probably will rap this song. So here's the deal. Thank you, Pathos, for remembering. That's actually, I feel like that's a love language, is remembering what we said last week. Yes, we have a theme song now. We have a hip-hop theme song. I'm a rapper. When I'm not talking about movies, I'm rapping about life and movies. Anyway, I've been wanting to have a theme song for that sweet synergy for a while, and got an excellent beat from a homie named DK Thunda, who also is on here streams. That's DK Thunda. He does some excellent streams on here. He's a huge gamer.
An H at the end, right?
Yes. Yeah, thank you. And he's a homie, and look, it's his beat. I wrote to it. It's a song. It's ready to go, but I'm a terrible mixing artist. I feel like I feel like that meme of Super SpongeBob when I'm recording raps, and then when I'm trying to mix them, I feel like that meme of Derpy SpongeBob. Just to give you a little visual verge.
I feel like it's better than you being like, I'm so good at mixing, and then it's bad.
Oh, no, I'm terrible. So anyway, DK is probably going to do an actual mix. So what we're going to listen to tonight, we will debut it. Basically, I have the audio queued up. We're going to listen to the song. Or maybe, you know what, I'll probably rap it for you tonight. Just because I think the lyrics will play as more fun if I just do it live. So we'll do that for sure. And then the end credits, we're going to have the song is already in the end credits. So when we cut to end credits, you'll get to hear like the fuller version of the song at the end of the show. But because it's my mix, I buried it in the end credits. Once I get a better mix back, then I'll spruce up our opening titles. So sorry for only half.
This is the tiniest little shovel.
What is that?
It's a tiny shovel.
Oh, to bury it at the end credits?
Yeah.
You're adorable. Oh, Coco's still here. Oops. I thought I clicked that away. Thank you, Pathos. And what up, Glowcat? Welcome back. Good to have both of y'all here. Okay, okie dokie. So,
what'd you watch?
what'd you watch? Yeah.
Let's start talking about it. Y'all drop in the chat what you watched, and your thoughts, and we'll just start an open discussion.
Sounds like a plan, Steph.
Thank you.
Look, I'm gonna pull up, as I do, the list of movies.
You watched a lot of movies this week.
I did watch a lot of movies this week.
You watched a lot of stuff without me.
I did.
Yeah.
Knowing that I was going to record this song this week, knowing that we're on deadline for our sitcom and editing, and I have a 9 to 5, I really knew that things were going to ramp up. We're also, well, I shouldn't say that publicly yet because not everyone at work knows, but we're making a big life change in a few months.
Oh.
So,
we're getting another cat?
Nope. Not at all.
Let the record show.
No cats. Point is, all I'm trying to say, I watched a bunch of movies because I made a very intentional choice to be as lazy as possible this Sunday, this weekend really, knowing that I had a full schedule coming at me. So, yes, I did watch a lot of movies. I'm really excited about most of them, and I want to hear what you watch as well. We both do. Okay. Well, I might as well go ahead and jump in. So, excuse me, if you're joining us for the first time, once again, we start out the show with a what did you watch? So if you're in the chat, feel free to tell us what you watched this week. So typically our structure is we'll go through, we'll talk about now what we watched together, what we watched separately, and then we'll both kind of say like who we recommend it to, if anyone. It's very rare that we don't recommend a movie to anybody.
That's true.
Have we ever done that? Have we ever been like, bomb? I wouldn't recommend this to anyone.
No, because even if I personally don't find merit in something, I'm always like, form your own opinion.
Right. And again, like, this show is based on the fact that I used to work at a video store, and I used to love going in on my off days to chill and hang out with people. And I will say that harkens back to when people would ask me, is this movie good? If I'd seen it and I didn't like it, I would say exactly that. That wasn't for me, but I'd recommend you form your own opinion. Unless it was just like, I knew they were going to have a terrible night.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Waste
their time. Okay, thank you, Glowcat, for letting us know what you watched. Dang, you watched some deep cuts. Are these all on VHS? Munchie Strikes Back. I had no idea. Is that a sequel to Munchie?
Is it Munchie or Munchies?
There's two movies. There's Munchies, which is, they're both like Gremlins knockoffs, but Munchies is like straight up, the Munchies are, you know.
You're hungry.
They're hungry. The cover is a drawing of one of them lifting up a woman's skirt. Like they're naughty. They're, for their time, that would be naughty.
Out of control.
They're out of control. They're a nuisance. They're gremlins. Munchie is, I want to say, a Roger Corman production that is more like an E.T. ripoff. It's more about like or an Alf ripoff.
Are they related at all?
No. I mean, maybe Roger Corman produced them both. I would have to look that up, but
copyright.
Munchie is like a little. Actually, you know what? Glowcat made this mixtape, which is one of my favorite things in the house. The mixtape. I highly recommend this. It's a bootleg videotape mixtape of awesome stuff. And right here on the front, there's Munchie right there. There's Munchie. So Munchie's like a.
Oh yeah. I thought this was an animatronic from Chuck E. Cheese.
See, that's a good, yeah. He looks a lot like a Chuck E. Cheese if you put him in a 50s greaser outfit and shrunk him down. I had no idea there was a sequel to Munchie. That is crazy. A spiritual successor to Munchies. Okay, fair enough. Do or Die is, man, these are all like out of my wheelhouse. Do or Die, I believe, is a skate movie. And then Gorgon Video. Now Glowcat, I'm sure you could educate us on this because I feel like the underground video magazines and stuff of the 80s and 90s, like I learn about new stuff there all the time. So I know Gorgon Video put out a bunch of like horror and weird stuff. Some reissues, like Death Spa is a big one that they like. There's an original tape from the 80s that's hard as hell to find. Then Gorgon Video put out Death Spa in the 90s, and then Gorgon Video just put out a new version. I didn't know they had video magazines. That's very cool. Oh, All the Faces of Death. That's what I know them from. Yes. Gorgon Video is the Faces of Death people. Rad. How was Munchie Strikes Back? I think it was the last time I watched Munchie, I was like 8 years old.
I don't think I've ever seen Munchie.
I want to see... I feel like weirdly there's a Blu-ray out there somewhere that's got Munchies and Munchie on it as a double feature. And I didn't ever buy it because I spent more money buying just Munchies on tape. It was terrible. That's a good thing though. Yeah. Sometimes that's what you need. Okay, Pathos. Only movies I watched were... Oh, dang, you only watched one movie and a show? You came down from like 25 movies last week to one this week. Sounds like you got some sleep. Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze, and ripped through all the Mandalorian in 2 days. Hey, we rent TV shows here. I'm looking at a shelf over there with the full run of Buffy on it. We love good TV. Now, the Mandalorian is something that you and I fell off of and have expressed interest in. Maybe I'm a little more interested, but I'm
not sure. I mean, I think we watched the first 2 episodes.
I think we made it to 3.
3? And we just sort of fell off and then lost our subscription. And I almost said prescription. It's one of those days.
When you don't want to wake up, everything is fuck. Everybody sucks.
But yeah, I mean, I think last week we were talking about that phenomenon of like, do you really love something or is it just in the zeitgeist?
We were talking about that. Is it social pressure? Is it FOMO?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think for us, it was FOMO at first. I think we both loved the first episode. And then I think second episode, third, we both were like, okay, it's a TV show. Like, it felt like ABC almost, like in that, it was like so highly produced.
Yeah, but we didn't really give it a shot. And we've been saying, we probably should.
I'd like to rewatch it.
Yeah. But we did just start the new season of Drag Race.
We did. That's really exciting that that's back. That's something we watched. I'm so excited that Drag Race is back.
Me too.
I'm not about to watch Drag Race Canada and lower my standards.
Oh, I watched Drag Race Canada. I watched it all. Want to talk about rabbit holes?
I did pay those. I did know that Michael J. White was in Turtles too. He is in something else in such a... Maybe Glowcat knows. He popped up all over the place. What a career.
Oh, hey. I'm sorry. While you Google that, I've just got to ask, Pathos, is what the Limetown TV show, is that based on the podcast? Because I love that podcast.
Yeah, you made me listen to it. I loved it too.
I did. Is this the one with Julia Roberts?
Oh, that's what it is. It's Toxic Avenger Part 2 that Michael J. White pops up in as well. Hey, 2 great 2s.
Oh man, Ringmaster.
Toxic Avenger 2 and Ringmaster apparently.
I just remember that cover. So...
I do too. I never saw it though.
Me neither.
Michael J. White. He's the original Spawn, and he's Black Dynamite as well. He just had such an interesting career. He's like a very talented martial artist / very funny and charming, and I don't think he's quite gotten the like leading man career that I think he kind of deserves. Interesting dude. Michael J. White, very handsome man. Cool. Well, I really love TMNT 2 so much. I loved it way more as a kid because than the other Turtles movies. Well, Turtles 3 is just bad, and I think I recognized that as a kid and never really sparked any joy for me. And Turtles 1 almost felt too adult because I was just too young to get over the lack of connection between the first Turtles movie and the cartoon. And the second movie is definitely a kid's movie way more.
Yeah.
First movie is like a very good drama about Ninja Turtles.
All right, I gotta do a quick aside just to put a bow on this Limetown thing. So yeah, me too. First of all, Jessica Biel plays Leah Haddock.
Oh, that's fun.
I didn't know that. I'm thinking of something with Julia Roberts. I think it's based on another. I did not know that.
Erin Brockovich.
Yeah, exactly. Based on the podcast, based on the movie, based on the novel.
The book.
And yes, Pathos. Limetown made me cry a couple times as well and scared me. That is a scary ass podcast. It's so well done. I've listened to the podcast twice, but didn't know there was a show. I'm very curious.
We should check it out.
Yeah.
Because I haven't finished the podcast. I still have season 2 to listen to.
Because we listened to it in a road trip. One of the last big.
Yeah, we
outings from the home.
Well, we flew to LA and rented a car because you had a movie in a film festival in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. It was one of the most beautiful / nightmarish drives of my life.
It started out like almost cartoon-esque in how beautiful the skies were so blue with puffy white clouds, and then we drove north and, well, things changed.
We had to drive by the coast during a massive rainstorm with all the street lights out in 5 lanes of traffic going 70 in whiteout rain, and I was white knuckle. Like, I hated that drive.
I don't think I exhaled for an hour.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
Like, at a certain point, even during it, I was like, if we crash, at least the tension will be over. Mm-hmm. Like, at least we'll just be on the side of the road waiting, and maybe hopefully we'll make it.
But the first thing we did is, once we checked into our Airbnb in San Francisco, is we went and got a extravagant sushi dinner that we could not afford.
Yeah, we wasted some money.
We were like, whatever. We're alive!
We're alive, babies. And then we got some weed because it's legal there.
Yes.
The Limetown audio drama legit made me cry at a few points, says Pathos. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's a beautiful show. I would like... Anyway, that's where we listen to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pathos, you are actually on our mind, switching gears here, because you had just finished all the Marvel movies, and that's what we did too. We finally finished. It took us over a year, but we finally finished our... Where am I? Watch through of the MCU.
Rewatch through, we should clarify for...
Yeah, like 4th watch through. But the first time, actually the second time I'd watched all of them straight through. First time for you, right?
You did.
And I did it before this was in theater.
Yes. So when you saw this in theater, it was...
Right.
Yeah.
It was right there. We didn't quite get... Thank you, Pathos, for the congrats. We didn't quite get the same... what am I trying to say? Like, tight experience of watching them all back to back because we spaced it out. Mm-hmm. But this still hits. I mean, okay, we can grab it as the talking stick now. Do you want to go first, or shall I?
Oh, you go ahead. And by the way, if you're just joining us in the chat, we are discussing what we watched this week. So if you'd like to drop in the chat what you watched this week, we'll discuss it.
We'd love to talk to you about it and what you think about it. Endgame, a little movie called Endgame. I love this movie. I am a big fan of the Marvel movies. I've said it before, but I mean, I think growing up, the big superhero movies that made the superhero industrial complex that we're in right now like a thing were perfectly timed for where I was in like high school. Like 2000, the first X-Men, and then the first Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 and X-Men 2. Like, really those 4 movies combined with then Batman in 2005 and obviously The Dark Knight were like a boom. But before Dark Knight, before 2008, there was this like no man's land between like 2004 and 2008. That's when I was in college. I was a film student working at a video store. And superhero movies were just god fucking awful. Like Daredevil, Elektra, Catwoman with Halle Berry, The Fantastic Four, The Fantastic Four 2 with Silver Surfer. And at the time, the Civil War arc was happening in Marvel Comics for the first time, and Cap was about to die in the comics in issue 25 from 2005. And so I was a huge Cap fan. I was reading from issue 1 of that Brubaker run and reading Civil War. And then a friend got me into the Infinity books from the 90s, Jim Starlin, and I read all those, and I just never in a million years thought, I thought we're going to get some shitty, jingoistic, super nationalistic Captain America that misses the point. I never would have dreamed we actually got a Winter Soldier plot that had... What?
Oh,
yeah, they're there.
I thought they were right behind you.
They're right behind us.
Right.
Yeah, all the Infinity books. I remember buying Infinity Crusade in France because I found it in a French bookshop in English and freaked out because it was so hard to find in the States at the time. I never would have dreamed in a million years that we'd get like a 70s paranoia thriller influenced that or any of it. So I'm grateful for Marvel. Like, I know they have their foibles, their ups and downs, for sure. But I'm grateful for this universe, and for me, the emotional arc and my investment ended with Endgame. From here on out, I'm gonna watch them for fun, but Endgame really like is a huge accomplishment in all the things that they managed to pull off. Like, it's kind of staggering how much is going on in this movie.
Yeah.
I really wonder how many director units there were.
I don't know. I mean, staggering is a good word. Just the scope of the whole thing and everything coming together and making sense and like feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's cohesion from the
feeling
other movies.
cohesive and like you're not completely, I mean, it's well balanced. Like, it's just a really great superhero movie.
I mean, it couldn't exist without so much before it.
Exactly.
And so it feels like a miracle that it exists at all. Like, reading Infinity, this isn't the story of, since you mentioned it, I'll pull it out.
I really like the way this smells.
I do too. This is, it's not the story of this. It's not the Infinity Gauntlet story. Not really, other than Thanos getting the Infinity Gauntlet and trying to snap away half of life. It plays out in nowhere near the same way that this does. But it captures all the magic and cosmos. And it gives every character satisfying moments. There's one moment that still sticks out to me every time I watch it, which is when Cap first gets in the, I think it's the Milano, I think it's the Guardian ship, when he's first in it and there's just this close-up on his eye taking in like the 2001 style space visuals. And it just like that 3 seconds of film of close-up of Chris Evans' eye, just like, that's good fucking storytelling, because in that moment they're explaining so much about this character. It also relies on all the prerequisites of you knowing who these people are.
Yeah.
Anyway, end of an era for sure, and it was wonderful to rewatch.
Yeah, and like it was wonderful to rewatch not in theaters.
We had a terrible theatrical experience.
Well, and tell me how y'all feel about this, but my personal preference is, I know that people love seeing things opening weekend, opening night. The first week, sometimes 2 weeks, I just cannot do it. I can't do it. It makes me feel so anxious to see a big, huge blockbuster release movie on opening weekend. And we went and it was packed, and the person next to you like totally ruined the moment at the end with Iron Man.
Not only was there a terrible woman to the left of you,
I was the uncomfortable cheese on either side of a bread fight.
And I told her to shut up, and I shouldn't have. I mean, I could have found a nicer way to say it because it created tension with you in the middle the whole time. But she made fun of Thor, and it hurt my feelings for him, and I said, "Shut the fuck up, please." She was talking through the whole thing. It was building up. Anyway, that kind of ruined and then the guy to my right, at the end, when the I am Iron Man callback, whispered "I am Iron Man" under his breath to himself right before,
like in the pause, in the moment of silence in between.
Yeah, like he was so proud of himself for getting there. Yeah, that was fuck that guy to this day. Fuck that guy. There was one moment in game I picked up on, or at least I think that it did, when they hinted that Tony Stark is adopted. Explain, Pathos.
Yeah.
I don't think he is, but I want to know what moment you're referencing.
Are you saying they hinted like it's a possibility, or they hinted as in
when he meets Howard in the past at the facility, the SHIELD facility? Stealing cables is a federal crime and could result in at least 5 years in a correctional facility.
Pathos says in the comics Tony's adopted.
I had no idea. Well then, you know more than me, brother. And sounds like that might be the case. I did not catch that. But, and also you're getting chat stuff on me.
I am. So.
Well, dang.
Surround sound.
We also watched Captain Marvel before this.
We did.
And When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, we did. This year, we did something really fun. I love watching When Harry Met Sally around New Year's. I do it almost every year. And we decided to time out the ball drop in the movie with the final countdown in the movie with our countdown this year.
So you start this movie at 10:30 and 28 seconds.
We were off by 2 seconds.
Because I paused it because I forgot.
But then you rewound and you almost got it back perfect.
Close. Almost.
But it was like 3, 2. 2.
Because Stephanie got up to pee, and I was like, let me pause. No, I shouldn't have paused
I was
it.
like, I've seen this movie so many times, I'll pause it.
What up, Wedge? Welcome.
Hi, Wedge.
We were just talking about how we this year, instead of, going out during a pandemic, we watched When Harry Met Sally and timed it for the ball drop. It was very fun.
It was really fun.
Okay, while we're on Marvel, though, I want to talk about Captain Marvel, because we had opposite reactions. I didn't like this movie very much when I saw it in theater. This was my second full... Okay, then probably when I bought it on Blu-ray, I probably stayed up late and maybe had a little too much Grandpa's Lettuce and watched it and barely absorbed it. This was my first, rewatch, though. I liked it a lot. And I was talking shit on this movie. Not talking shit, but I was criticizing this movie last week on the stream. I liked it a lot more this time. I felt like it... Yes, it wants to be so many things. Here's the thing, and it felt, and you said after we watched it that maybe we crossed, you liked it less this time.
I think so, yeah.
One thing that, well, first of all, that's just curious, because I think I always let Marvel movies off the hook a little more after the second or third watch. It always happens. No matter what I think that's why they're kind of evergreen for me, is because they feel like movies I automatically feel like a kid about. All the movies that you grow up watching, you kind of just accept them for what they are because your brain hasn't learned to think about what things could be yet. That's how I feel about Marvel. I take what I get and I'm grateful for it and I have a good time. And I think all of my criticisms erode on rewatches because I'm like, I'm here for this. Hi, buddy. Our cat just came in.
Hello.
It's dinner time.
Okay.
But you liked it less.
I don't know if I liked it less. I don't know. I guess I felt more neutral about it. And the thing is that it could have just been that other people didn't like it so much the first time that I was like, no, this is a solid movie.
Right.
And so maybe this time I was like, yeah, still a solid movie.
Maybe this is more like, yeah, same opinion, but without a context inflating it.
Exactly.
Xander, welcome. We have not talked Coco yet. We are going to do that in our third act of our show.
Hi, Xander.
Usually starts around 9 for the movie club. Maybe a little earlier tonight. But we're in the what we watched. Thank you, Pathos. Captain Marvel. The other thing I want to say about Captain Marvel, because we just finished a Marvel rewatch, if you're just joining us. And besides liking it more, now the Marvel Universe gets criticized for, like many Hollywood things, for taking money from the military and then incorporating military elements into their movie. It's certainly a form of modern day propaganda. Some people, I have friends who won't watch Marvel movies because of this. Clearly that's not how I feel. I don't think I'm not excusing it. I'm just kind of aware it's the case with a lot of my favorite movies. Like The Rock, same thing. Most Michael Bay movies, in fact.
What about The Rock?
All of Michael Bay's movies have significant budget coming from the Department of Defense because they're essentially propaganda because they make military stuff look cool.
Right.
And then he gets to use military-grade helicopters, fighter jets, and stuff in his movie. Same with Marvel. Now, Captain Marvel is interesting because...
Sorry, I was doing a helicopter.
Okay. Did you develop... I just think Captain Marvel's interesting because it's on the one hand, there's absolutely a criticism to be made that this movie's propaganda in the sense that it is about an Air Force pilot and that's all in shiny colors. At the same time, this movie is about someone realizing that the military that they've spent their life, it is about someone's losing their religion or losing their patriotism, really. The story is about Carol Danvers realizing that she has been a soldier for a nationalistic colonialist army. Sorry for that. And I wonder, how self-aware is this movie? Is this an accident? Are the filmmakers trying to be almost like meta commentary on what they're doing? Or are they just having their cake and eating it too? Or is it just that American exceptionalism thing where it completely doesn't understand that it's criticizing the same thing that it is because it thinks, oh, this is different than that because we're Americans and we're the good guys. I honestly am kind of fascinated by this question. Did Captain did Captain Marvel subvert all of this in the same way that Winter Soldier does by saying that maybe these institutions are flawed and need to be replaced? Is it, I don't know, what do y'all think, chat?
Captain America.
I love Captain America.
Hey, Holden Wook.
What up, Holden Wook?
Real quick, I want to circle back to Pathos's Tony being adopted moment. Just to.
I'm done. Thank you.
When he meets Howard in the past, Howard tells Tony that his wife is pregnant, and Tony is visibly shocked when he says that. Even asks, "How far along is she?" I mean, he's a science guy. He should be well aware of where he is in time.
I mean, that tracks. See, I chalked that up to Tony being so eye on the prize that he just wasn't thinking. But then again, Tony is a super genius, so why wouldn't he know?
So wait, how is that an implication that he is adopted?
Well, I think Pathos is just suggesting that, like, Tony might be surprised that his parents were pregnant because they never would have been pregnant with him. But we never know of any siblings, and it feels weird that Marvel would have put in, like, a tragic baby loss plot as a throwaway.
So it's, like, just a nod to people who like the comics?
I have no idea, Stephanie. You're asking the wrong person. You gotta ask Pathos that. See,
Hey, buddy.
I think I disagree with you that he is adopted in the MCU. I think he is Howard's biological son. Maybe it's a nod to him being adopted in the comics. I had no idea that was the case. But it does feel like, why would Marvel reference them having another child if we'd never heard about that? Especially if we'd never heard about that implies that they lost that baby to a miscarriage or something. Feels like if she's pregnant, it's got to be Tony. Otherwise, why is the line in there?
Yeah.
Because he could have just said, I'm about to become a father.
Yeah. IDK. All right, we got some... Okay, in the comics, Howard and Maria Stark had a baby named Arno, and he had very poor health, so poor that the only way they could save him was to basically put him in an iron lung down in some seal black. They also adopted Tony at the same time to cover it up. Oh.
Well, shit. Hey, what up, Video Vagrants?
Hi!
What up, Metaphoric Twitch? Metaphoric, I love that. Also, thank you, Holden Wook, and thank you, Xander, for the subs.
Yes!
As a reminder, you are on UltraLoop. This is a streaming channel where we do different stuff every night. So Tuesdays are the video store. Tomorrow night we have Aliens for Humans. That is our friends Rez and Penny, who do an amazing family stream of Among Us with their kids. Then we got Keelan Haynes on Thursdays, and Alon always holding it down. And we'll talk a little bit more once we get into new arrivals, but starting next Monday, I'm going to be doing a second stream called Rapper Playing Games, or RPG, where I do retro streams on Mondays here. So we pack it out. You got some shows coming up this year too.
Some shows coming up.
It's gonna be fun. So thank you for subscribing. We really appreciate that. And thank you for the facts, Pathos. That's fascinating.
Yeah, thank you.
I think I'm struggling with if that's just something I don't want to be the case in the movies or not. Maybe it's just my own confirmation bias. Okay, I gotta scroll back up because Wedge let us know about a few things they watched. Gremlins, Escape from New York, Mystic Pizza. I've never seen Mystic Pizza. The other two are fantastic. I've heard good. What about Mystic Pizza? Have you seen that?
So I saw it when I was, I think my mom rented it, and I like sort of watched it in the background. But I don't remember it. I remember people always saying it's so sad. Is it a tearjerker? I don't know.
Did they drop the pizza in the end?
Maybe I'm thinking of fried green tomatoes.
You probably are. Or Tears of Endearment. Terms of Endearment.
I was thinking more like food-centric titles that are tearjerkers.
And Wedge is also agreeing that Captain Marvel's not the best, but it's slept on. I am still interested. I don't have Mystic Pizza on VHS. I have... Come on.
No.
I have the Ninja Pizza mixtape of Ninja Turtles clips and pizza commercials and training videos that I got from the Vagrants group. Also, right behind me, what up, Vagrants? These are on this stack. These are all bootlegs and customs by people in Vagrants. I keep them proudly displayed.
We love them.
Pathos, I'm not sure it's just to address your comment. I'm not sure you can put too much thought into Marvel movies. I'm pretty sure they're built to have you. They're built to create meta content. They are built so that people like us sit down in front of cameras and talk about them more. So, hey, maybe that seed is in there. whether or not it's part of that reality. Marvel's about to get into multiple universes, so it's all true, right? I just want to say, Escape from New York I watched for the first time in years last year, and it was before we started doing the show, but I feel like I'd always thought, like, I'd seen it a few times in high school and college, and I always thought, like, it's not my favorite Carpenter movie. I watched it again last year, and I feel like I got it for the first time. Maybe my attention span is better. Maybe I'm more attuned to the slow pace and dark lighting of it, but I dug it a lot more. And Gremlins is evergreen. I'm glad that you snuck that in.
And a lot of love here for Mystic Pizza. That might be on my watch list.
And fried green tomatoes. Glowcat says, I feel like everyone who collects owns a copy on VHS. That's true, but I feel like with my VHS more so, I'm always trying to find, like, I don't know, I'm drawn to, like, 80s horror art, and especially, like, we're gonna have some fun stuff coming. I found some Pasolini movies that never made it to DVD in the States that I ordered on tape.
Although in the bedroom we picked up at a thrift store a little, like, old shelf. Hello, buddy. He's like,
oh, cat is crying.
Hungry. Little VHS tape holder.
Yeah.
And we're building out my little baby section of comedy and rom-coms. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love how all the yours is full of, like, 80s and 90s rom-com and comedy, and all the spines are white because that's the code for comedy.
Yeah, and these are all black.
That's
and green and blue, like dark.
It's just, like, it's weird. Like, that's one of the first things you notice if you go through the sections at a video store is, like, the overwhelming white background of the comedy section
with red lettering. Because of love.
I didn't even know Kathy Bates was in Fried Green Tomatoes. I gotta check that out.
Now that's a tearjerker.
A Mystic Pizza says it's an exploration of 3 types of relationships in a sleepy town.
And that is Julia Roberts.
That is Julia. There you go, full circle. Well, continuing on with what we watched. We watched the 2 Marvel movies. And then, I'm just going to go ahead and skip ahead. We watched 1 more together. 2 more together. But I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead because, Wedge, I didn't watch Escape from New York this week, but I did watch Escape from the Bronx. A blatant ripoff of Escape from New York. Now, I got this for Christmas. It's 3 movies by Enzo G. Castellari, who is an Italian director who made Inglourious Bastards, which is a Dirty Dozen ripoff. He is such a fascinating director to me because he... Can I hold the cat? I want to feel his fuzzy butt. Yes, come to me, boy. Come to me, my child. There's your fuzzy butt. All right, there you go, bud. I love Enzo G. Castellari because I feel like he is through and through an exploitation director whose whole shtick is doing rip-offs to more successful movies. Inglourious Bastards, the first one, is a straight-up Dirty Dozen knockoff with Fred Williamson. These 3 movies are all rip-offs of either The Warriors, Escape from New York, Mad Max, mostly The Warriors, though. And they are not shy about it. So I watched the first 2 in this set. First one's called 1990, The Bronx Warriors. Second one, I had no idea was a direct sequel that takes place a year later called Escape from the Bronx. When I turned it on and they started calling each other the same names and it was the same actors, I got so excited. But the thing about Enzo is his framing is beautiful, but it also has all that, the low budget, we're shooting on the fly, 70s exploitation of a lot of handheld, a lot of natural lighting, and just in general kind of a feeling of, you can feel the budget. You can feel that it's low budget. That said, Mark Gregory, this really weird presence, kind of this lithe but muscle-bound. He's the guy depicted on the front here. He's this young Italian guy, Marco Gregorio, and he was apparently bullied for his effeminate nature by the crew, and that's potentially why he never acted again, because he had this weird kind of like gender fluid presence in like a muscle-bound body. I loved him as the lead. He did not seem like he should be leading a street gang, but I ate it up. And I just thought these movies were so fun. Like, honestly, I thought that maybe they'd be something I fell asleep to, but I was engaged, and I dug them.
Glowcat says Escape from the Bronx is like my favorite thing.
Oh, for real? Yeah, dude. So is the third one, The New Barbarians? That's the one that's next for me. Is that a Bronx Warriors flick too? Is that the same timeline? Or just same? It's same directors. Why I assumed it was in the set, but I'm excited to watch it. And it's got Fred Williamson in the lead. Now, a little known fact about me is I got to direct Fred Williamson about 10 years ago in my movie called Dropping Evil in a bit role.
I knew that fact.
I love Fred Williamson, and he was very fun to work with also. The Fourth Horseman, I do not know about The Fourth Horseman. Do tell. I will say The Fourth Apocalypse, which is a spaghetti western by Fulci, is one of my favorite spaghetti westerns, even though it's sloppy as hell. Nice, Pathos, yeah. So 1990, The Bronx Warriors is first Pathos. 82, and then in 83 is Escape from the Bronx. I just love these movies. It's awesome, Glowcat, that you dig them too. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, way more fun than I thought.
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell it was real.
You could tell I was actually enthusiastic.
Yeah, you were like, whoa, I was not anticipating that.
I wasn't. It was...
What a ride.
So violent, so fun. Well, cool. Here's the next thing we watched together. Mm-hmm. Sanyo Pity on the Running Kind.
Yep.
Okay, I watched this twice last year. This was the third time maybe for me. Stephanie, I'm gonna look. I have to pee. I'm gonna feed the cat.
Yeah. Will
you please regale everybody with your? It was your first time watching Pootie Tang.
It was my first time watching Pootie Tang. What do I even say?
How does the Bronx Warriors compare to the Warriors Wedge? That's a hard question for me to say because the Warriors I haven't watched in probably 6 or 7 years. Bronx Warriors I watched like 3 days ago. Look, I dig the Warriors. I love Walter Hill. I think it's fun as hell. I gotta recommend you a movie called Streets of Fire. That's actually probably my staff pick this week. Streets of Fire is Walter Hill, who directed the Warriors. Rick Moranis, Diane Lane, Willem Dafoe. It's this neon comic book, candy-coated, beautiful 80s rock and roll. It's called A Rock and Roll Fable is the subtitle. I love it. It's also got an incredible soundtrack. And that song, I can dream about you if I can't hold you tonight, which is a famous song, is from Streets of Fire. It's an original from the OST. And it's basically a rock and roll action movie musical with a Warriors vibe. So anyway, that's my staff pick this week, I think.
That's
okay.
Good.
And what did you think about Pootie Tang? Give me Tom Coat. That's right, Glowcat. Glowcat knows what's up. Yeah, Streets of Fire OST kicks much ass. I have it's behind you awkwardly, so we won't grab it, but I have the single 12-inch of Tonight Is What It Means to Be Young. My personal dream to be young. Oh, so good. Fire Incorporated did the 2 songs Diane Lane sings. You're just killing it on the air guitar. One of my goals is to use that song again in a movie. Very, personal bucket list.
That movie's good.
Oh, fuck, Pathos. That is devastating. That's devastating.
Oh, no.
Fuck. Okay, well, that's a hard pivot. I'm going to go process that and read more about it on my phone while I pee. Why don't you... We'll keep the show. The show must go on. Okay. I'll come back, but Pootie Tang.
Okay.
I'm not trying to direct you or anything. I just...
No.
think it's amazing that you just saw Pootie Tang for the first time. I tripped, okay? Sorry, it's a lot.
No, it's okay. Let's see. Yeah, me too, Pathos. Yeah, that's pretty intense. I'm sure that we'll get some more details from Adam coming back from the bathroom. That's a heavy one. But to, I guess, talk about Pootie Tang, I'd never seen it. We've been talking about watching it for, I think Adam mentioned he'd watched it twice last year. And we had been talking about watching it together for a long time. It was the holidays. We built a fort in the living room, and we had it up for a few days. And we were like, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's time to have a 90s mom cigarette and watch Pootie Tang. And we did, and it was great. Wanda Sykes is so funny. So funny. The whole thing is just awesome. So colorful. totally holds up. I loved it. I thought it was super fun. All right. Well, now I'm just feeling sad about Dr. Dre. I'm trying to talk about Pootie Tang, and that's, you know, like I want to Google. I want to do some Googling. I want to give it Goog, but I'm going to resist because I do have the chat up right here, and I cannot see the chat from over there. But, yeah. So we'll just keep it going. Pathos, if you haven't seen Pootie Tang, it's really fun. Elvis Mitchell at the New York Times says, a laugh getter. I was curious about, I think it's Lance Cruther, I think, who played Pootie Tang. I'm curious about what their oeuvre is, because I'm not sure if I know much about that actor aside from this movie. But, yes. Thank you, Wedge, for sure. It's, how are we doing?
Good.
I got a little stumbly because I was like...
Because
of emotion.
About Pootie Tang?
Well, I was wrestling with Dr. Dre and Pootie Tang emotion at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I get that. Look, I just looked it up, and Dre is lucid. We're going to put this up for the rest of the show, for the rest of the stream. Okay. Dre is lucid and communicating with doctors in the ICU. Okay. So that's a hugely good sign. So we're just going to have to wait. I'm like, was almost on the verge of tears for a second because I couldn't handle that. Yeah. Because he might be the reason that I started rapping and got into music, period.
That's why my heart was like, my heart hurt.
Yeah, that's like, that would be a Prince level loss for me.
This is a Dr. Dre kind of
house. Yeah, it really is. As someone who has performed the Eminem cover set at 3 consecutive annual Dr. Dre days, and whose my dog's adoption day is Dre Day on purpose. Mm-hmm. No, fucking, you protect him, God. I don't really believe in you, but you protect Dr. Dre for us. Anyway, I just read he's stable and lucid, waiting on updates. So,
good.
Okay.
Okay. Woo. All right. First of all, back to Streets of Fire, just to hard pivot back into your regular programming here.
Oh, I love that movie. And I showed it to you a couple years ago, right?
It's great. It's fantastic.
It was like when we first started dating, I was like, and watch this.
Yeah, and I was like, this is very good. So good. But Buena Vista Social Club doc, which you got for me.
You didn't bring the mood down. Pathos Reality did. Don't trip, dude.
No.
We appreciate the info.
Yeah.
Don't even worry, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, I bought you the. Sorry.
Yes.
I bought that for you for your birthday, right? Or just ran? No, it was just a Criterion sale. I was like, here.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, you got me that, and one other one. Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire. That's right.
Yeah.
Can't wait to watch. I've never seen Buena Vista Social Club. Holden Wook, who's here, I think. No pressure if you're not, because honestly, I always feel weird doing just a sidebar meta commentary real quick. I always feel weird calling people out who I think are in the chat but might have gone, because one of my biggest anxieties is tuning into someone's live thing and then trying to duck out because I'm doing something else, and then them name checking me and me not being there. Yeah. Just know that we will never ever judge you for coming or going. You can leave the video store and come as you please. But Holden Wook, right here, I'm here but mostly tabbed out working on something else. Dope. I'm just referencing you because Holden Wook was really, as far as I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, permission to leave, that's right. I said that in a weird way. Holden Wook, and again, I say this like every other week, but in case you're new, Holden Wook and I grew up together, and he was a huge fan. You were not trapped. The video store is not mandatory. You are not being held hostage. Anyway, Holden Wook is the reason I'm aware of Tito Puente and Buena Vista Social Club because of the huge influence. And I still have never seen it, which feels like a major black hole for me.
I'm very excited to watch it. I have been a huge fan of Buena Vista Social Club since high school. I was obsessed with that album. It's one of the first albums that I listened to in my car when I was like, you know, I'm senior and now I'm a freshman and rolling down my windows and it's like a beautiful sunny day, dab dab. It's so good. Dos Gardenias is like one of the most beautiful songs in the world. And yeah, Tito Puente and all that. That was also around the time that I was dating a salsa musician.
Oh, dang.
And going to a lot of salsa shows and listening to a lot of, doing a lot of dancing and...
And Wim Wenders directed that movie, like, right? Wim Wenders, I don't know much about Wim Wenders other than that and Wings of Desire, but I'm pretty sure Wim Wenders is German. Anyway, yeah, that movie blew up. Like, Tito Puente was on The Simpsons after that movie came out.
And see, I didn't know that. I just was, that combination of, like, being at all those shows and loving Buena Vista Social Club, like, had me going down a Tito Puente rabbit hole when I was about 19.
We gotta watch it. Maybe we can even talk about that being maybe our movie club pick.
Oh, that would be fun.
Or your staff pick.
Although I might push for
What happened?
I had a brain fart. What was the movie last week that I said I'll push for it to be movie club?
Well, if we watched it, did we watch it?
No, but I said I was probably gonna watch it and then I didn't watch it. Oh boy.
Hey, will you grab that candle right over there?
Yeah.
Thank you, dear.
Moonlight, moon. Anybody here last week remember?
Oh, yeah.
Share.
Moonstruck.
Moonstruck.
Yeah, well, we were going to push for Moonstruck, and we could, I'm going to put a little candle out for Dre, too. Just good
Everspring
vibes.
does not sponsor this show, just like Maya will.
Moonstruck, Wedge Help.
Maybe.
Yes, oh my god, all of the Escape from New York music. I mean, pretty much any John Carpenter OST. This is one of the things I love from the guy, is, you know, obviously that he's an incredible composer, as well as Moon Prism Power Make Up! I'm the pretty girl. I've been watching a lot of that. Okay. You know, actually, let's skip ahead. Yes, Moonstruck. Let's talk about that when we get to Movie Club, because I want to watch Moonstruck too.
Oh yeah. I'm just going to put that on a shelf.
Word.
Oh, we'll put it on top of the right there.
All right. Okay. We talked about Avengers Endgame, Captain Marvel. We watched Pootie Tang. We watched 2 of the Castellari, Warriors ripoffs. Bronx Warriors, Escape from the Bronx. Mm-hmm. Then we got our Vinegar Syndrome order in the mail. And we'll unbox it. But we watched 2. I watched. I watched 2 of them, and you joined me for one. Mm-hmm. So I'll start. The first one is called Body Melts. This was new to me. It is a 1993 Australian exploitation horror movie. 1993 is a year after Dead Alive was made in New Zealand. And I definitely love the Ozploitation and New Zealand horror that Peter Jackson. I know that Australians and New Zealanders would hate me comparing them, but I love that that horror island cinema of the 90s and the 80s, and I love Brian Trenchard Smith and Australian. I love Australian movies. Period. This was new to me. This was all over the place. It was a body horror movie. A lot of goopy melting body effects, obviously.
I heard Through the Wall. I didn't watch this with you, but I heard Through the Wall. Oh!
That's the vibe.
Oh! It's like a lot of laughter and disgust.
Yeah, it was basically laughter and disgust was it. Oh, Metaphoric Twitch says, fixing to start Vagrant's video 2.0. Yes, I will PM Ivan, because I am sad that I missed out on the last one. And there's also a hater from the Video Vagrants is an amazing group. It's my favorite place to be online, honestly. There was a sweet mixtape project where everyone added 15 minutes and passed it along, and then everyone got a version of the final cut. And there's actually someone tried to sell it on eBay with like a hater thing about how like all the libtards in the group kicked them out or something.
Oh yeah,
it's very funny. Anyway, yeah, I would love to do that. I'll PM him for sure. Meanie. Body Melt was interesting. I'm not even sure how hard I recommend this. Like, I think when I first saw this, I got really excited at the idea of like, oh my god, I love body horror. I love gross out splat stick, and I love Australian horror and exploitation. So this checks all the boxes for me. It's a really messy movie, no pun intended, like structurally as a film. The second credit was based on 4 short stories by, and I thought, there it is. So the director also wrote this, but he wrote it based on 4 body horror stories he'd done. It's all tied together with this like drug. It's very much like The Stuff, like Larry Cohen's The Stuff.
Can I see this?
Yeah. Very much about like a product being pushed by an evil corporation. It's a health spa and kills people. Really reminded me of 2 things: The Stuff and Street Trash. I think it's probably on par with The Stuff in terms of quality, and Street Trash I think is way better. I think Street Trash is legitimately like a great movie. Like I think it often gets called like exploitation horror. I think it's actually brilliant. Anyway, it's fun. Fun little ride. Very disconnected, but some fun effects, some real gross stuff too.
I was just looking at the pictures.
I like the pictures.
Here.
And
Here,
then
we'll do our little...
Oh, that's thank you. Oh, hey, that's thank you.
Oh, hey, that's your welcome.
Wow. Well, here's the one we watched together. So on Sunday, I watched 4 movies and then 4 episodes of Sailor Moon. That was my lazy, I'm cramming this in before the year gets busy watch night. So 2 of the movies were Body Melt and Death Row Game Show. Mm-hmm. This is also from Vinegar Syndrome. This you watched with me. I really want to know, like, we talked about this a little bit, but
yeah, I think our biggest question mark with this movie was how self-aware are you, Death Row Game Show? Because, and also we had a little sub conversation about the word satire yet again, which is like a hot buzz word here in this video store.
Can I just take a minute to publicly apologize for policing your use of that word?
Let the record show.
Exactly what I'm doing. Because my definition of satire is very much like when you're doing something to make fun of the thing. And a lot of times I consider satire to be stuff people don't see as outright parody, like Starship Troopers is a perfect example. Mm-hmm. It's a satire of fascism, but it's so satirical that it reads as fascist. People might not even get that it's making fun of it. And so when you would use the word satire, you were using it to kind of encompass parody too, and I was being a grammar Nazi about it, but technically we were both right. Mm-hmm. So I apologize.
No.
This movie, however, is it satire? Is it self-aware or not?
Yes. And I think the sort of the interesting touch point there of kind of examination was the sexism in the movie.
So much, like outright misogyny, I think.
Just like straight up. And then, but because of when it was made and sort of, we were just like, is this part of it or is this just,
Here's the deal with the movie.
Did that make sense?
Well, I think that when it was made, like we've talked about this on the show before, like there's plenty of like woke, progressive, good stuff made from fucking that dawn of cinema till now. So not really gonna let it off the hook for that, but its contemporary influences would have been very trauma-y.
Yeah.
And so we were basically saying, is this like, so here's the premise of the movie. The premise is that there's a smarmy asshole game show host who gives death row inmates a final chance to live through challenges on a game show, and publicly executes them if they fail. Now, frankly, I think I would have liked to see a little bit more budget and thought go into that side of things, because that's a concept that could have been played for a lot more interesting material, I think. Mm-hmm. The concept is that this guy executed a mob boss in a humiliating manner, and now there's a hitman after him. Now, is this movie making a commentary on the prison industrial complex and entertainment and the soullessness of entertainment and death for profit? Or is it just ripping off The Running Man and adding a bunch of trauma humor to it?
See, that's the thing, is that like it was impossible to tell where that line was, or if there even was a line. Like,
because it felt dirty to watch.
It did.
I felt dirty having watched it.
Yes.
And this guy, Mark Pirro, he's an independent filmmaker based in Los Angeles who has made a number of, he's like the Troma of the West Coast, like a one-man Troma. His production company is called Piromount, and the logo is the play on the Paramount logo with a titty. Like, this guy feels very like John Waters Troma, like trashy, like throw it, but it also seemed like it hated women. Like, it seemed like the women weren't in on the joke.
For sure.
That's the way to put it.
Yeah. And the thing is like, to speak to your point about like how it weirdly like did not put any effort into being creative.
Yeah, the game show stuff was pretty it was like a guillotine and a box where you run out of oxygen.
There were no effects.
It's true.
They cut away like when there would be an effect. They like the guy who was playing the hitman was interesting and funny. Okay, also there were reflections, like people from the
it was clearly
crew,
thrown together,
like super sloppy. This is, you know, very dumb, but like there was an OTS like shot reverse shot with that was kind of went on forever. It was like a date, and you could see the other actor like breaking in every shot where it was OTS on them, and it was just like
over the shoulder,
very distracting to me, because I was like, oh, she's breaking.
Because they just were getting. I mean,
it was just like boom, boom, boom.
You can see the low budget. You can see the bad acting. I personally thought she was the best part of this movie. I was like, where is she in other things? Also, the hitman, who's like the best hitman in the world, is played for laughs as like the sloppiest Italian stereotype of all time.
Yeah. It seemed like the thing that they put the most effort into was the continuity on his spaghetti spill on his shirt.
But
I was like very surprised.
You're right. They actually did nail that.
Yeah.
Weirdly. So the movie, like, also part of the reason that we're like, does this movie hate women? It's so hard to tell with stuff that is intentionally being a spoof, because it wants to be, it's being trashy. And it is trashy, but this movie had some legitimately funny writing in it. It just didn't all hit. It was like someone needed to, it was like half of it was for one audience and half of it was for another. Yeah. Some of it was very funny sketch writing and clever line delivery. Some of it was good writing that wasn't well acted, but you could see the bones of it. And then some of it was just lazy jokes. And the reason the misogyny thing comes up is because the lead female actor in it is a basically feminist critic of the show and gets called a bitch a lot.
A lot.
But is it like the first few times she's called a bitch on live TV, and it's almost like, is this commentary on men in entertainment?
Yeah.
But then the movie starts almost getting in on the joke with them, and it's like, oh no, does this director just think that calling women bitches is funny?
Yeah. But she also kind of becomes a sellout by the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, she also just completely becomes a trophy for our main guy.
She just like throws away all of her very strongly held beliefs at the beginning of the movie. She's very like staunch, and then she's like, I fell in love, never mind. Also,
her character's name is, and this is a fun thing, it's called hem naming. It's not called that. It's a one thing to call it. So, sometimes referred to as hem naming. This is when characters' names diagram for you as a viewer what their character is. The reason it's called hem naming is because of old medieval drawings and God, why can't I think of what William Blake did?
Sonnets.
No. William Blake etchings. Where oftentimes they would be biblical stories, and anyway, people would be wearing robes, and on the hem of that robe would be written like vanity, lust, hem naming. So her character's name in this movie is Gloria, like Gloria Steinem, Stern Virgin. Gloria Stern Virgin. That's funny, but is she on the joke or not? Anyway, I thought it was solid.
An interesting movie.
It was interesting. I mean, I'm not unhappy I bought it or that I watched it. I have plenty of trashy stuff. Felt like a trauma movie, and honestly, I'm interested in what Mark Pirro has done. If this has been the career he's made, he feels like a West Coast John Waters, Lloyd Kaufman hybrid. Interesting.
There you go. And there's a song.
There is actually really catchy theme song. Okay, great job, nerds. Has entered the chat. Hell late to the game. This week I watched Another Round, a Danish film with Mads Mikkelsen. It was great. Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. Fine but enjoyable. Because of nostalgia. Actually, Vineet, I just bought Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes because I was at Half Price Books, double masked, BT Dubs, and I found a copy of it in that shiny blue foil DVD that they put out in 2001, and I just couldn't resist. That's when I was like 14. I was drawn to it. I haven't watched it again yet. Gremlins, you also... Oh, that's right, because you and Nathan watched Gremlins on the big screen. You got to rent out a little theater and do a safe, socially distanced watch of Gremlins.
How fun.
So yeah, that's amazing.
And hey, look at here. Gremlins 2, genius, brilliant, perfect sequel. I see why it's your fave.
I love it. I'm so glad you liked it too. The Right Stuff I've also never seen. Also, any movie that has... First of all, I've never seen The Right Stuff. That's a bomb I'm dropping. I should watch it. It's referenced in Captain Marvel. She picks it up in the video store. Also, any movie that includes a scene where people are in a theater, I want to see in a theater. Like Gremlins has the climax in the theater. The best thing that ever happened on that note, when Inglourious Bastards, the Tarantino version, came out in 2009. Yeah, 2009. When it came out, I saw it in theater at the Alamo Drafthouse Ritz location, which is the downtown Austin original location of the Drafthouse. And they had it rigged in there so that when you entered the Nazi theater at the end of the movie, me and the person I went to see it with, we were like, what is that noise? You heard like clicking through the theater. And we're like, what is that? And when the characters walked into that Nazi theater, we heard all this clicking, and then all around us, giant Nazi banners unfurled and fell from the sides of the room, making us feel that we were in that theater. And as fucked up as it is that the Alamo invested in Nazi flags to do that, damn, that was an immersive, fun experience where I felt like the theater I was in was also going to catch fire and explode, and I dug it.
That's very cool.
It was really cool. I think they did it because Tarantino did a special screening there, and they kept it up for him. But cool idea. The Right Stuff, they use real footage. I didn't know that. $99 to rent out a theater. That's like...
Wait, is that real?
That's crazy, dude. So...
Why aren't we renting...
We could...
Why aren't we renting out a theater?
I don't know, dude. I spent $99 like out of my paycheck on buying movies. Let's rent an AMC. We still got to interact with people in public, though.
That's true.
In Austin. I think we're in a more dangerous spot than y'all are.
Yeah.
George Clooney's space movie, so unremarkable. I can't believe it was called.
Midnight Sky.
Midnight Sky. Oh, I thought y'all were talking about the Solaris remake. I haven't seen that. Creepy but cool. Huh. Well. Oh, okay.
Oh, I see.
I get it. Gotcha. The Alamo is doing a rental thing, too, where you can bring a DVD. In fact, Great Job Nerds knows this because we used to work at a toy store called Toy Joy in Austin, and our employee parties were rented out Alamos watching anything we wanted. That's how I saw Robot Jocks for the first time. That's cool. Might have to look into that.
That
Glowcat.
is cool.
That's cool as well that your local indie's doing that too. And I'm glad that your local indie is there. That's great. You know? I'm glad that they're surviving. It really breaks my heart to think of, to be real with y'all, just to break character for a second, I feel like part of the reason I get so mad at people being irresponsible about this pandemic is because of all the people who've lost their businesses, the video stores, the theaters, who have suffered for it. And I just hate that they're like dying for the sins of other people. Anyway, end rant. This isn't my platform for complaining about anti-maskers and people being irresponsible, but you know, we live pretty close to a bar. Thankfully, it's been unpacked. It has not been packed this week. But again, this isn't the complaint about you are now You are now in a
Complaint
rapper's
store.
house while he complains. You watched Freaked and Brain Candy. That sounds like an amazing double feature, man. That sounds like an amazing double feature.
Oh, in the theater?
That's
Did they
so
rent
cool.
out the theater?
Freaked. Yeah, they rented out the theater. Freaked and Kids in the Hall Brain Candy.
That's so fun.
Dude, man, we got to do that.
Yeah.
Can we do that seriously?
Yeah. We should. We should look into it.
We should do that. Also, my bad for saying man. I kind of default to calling everybody man, but I apologize for that. I'm going to catch myself. Kevin McDonald did a cameo for me. It was cool. What?
Oh, that's cool.
That's amazing.
Kevin McDonald has come through here and taught some workshops.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I almost took one, but I couldn't afford it. It wasn't that expensive. I just broke
at the time.
But I did meet him. Nice.
That is nice. Cool.
No, he was nice.
Oh, he was nice. That's nice. See what I did there. All right. And I saved the bomb for last, y'all. This was a new movie for me. I'd never seen it before. Let me make sure I'm caught up here. Yeah, that's it. I watched this. Cruising. Has anyone ever seen Cruising? If so, what do you think? Also, I am dying to talk to a gay man about this movie. Because I seriously want to know, as a straight cis man, my perspective on this movie is going to be totally different. This movie is William Friedkin, Al Pacino. It is, I love William Friedkin. I love The French Connection. I love Sorcerer. I love The Exorcist. I think he is one of America's greatest filmmakers. He's like a polished Sam Peckinpah in many ways. I love him. He makes hard-edged movies. Al Pacino is at the height of his powers in this. Really right in that middle, that sweet, sweet middle ground between old Al Pacino and young Al Pacino, because he had just done the Godfather movies, but he was still kind of maintaining that sort of Dog Day Afternoon, Serpico, innocence, boyishness. This movie really challenges him to do both. He has to be a shapeshifter. This movie was heavily protested by the gay community in, I think, New York, where it was shot. And I watched one of the special features on this disc from Arrow that was about, about that controversy. And William Friedkin said basically they had all these guys from the S&M community who were down to make the movie with them, who supported it, and then all these other people from the wider gay community who were like, we don't want to be represented in this way. It's 1980. It is one of the first iterations of gay culture as the centerpiece and backdrop of a film. And I think the gay community at the time was rightfully annoyed that they were going to be represented in via the smaller S&M community within that. Looking back, it's easy for me to say, well, it's like what Verhoeven said, it's the backdrop. It's a neo-noir story, crime story, and I think that's a little bit of a cop-out on Friedkin's behalf. Because it's easy for me to say that too, to justify my enjoyment of this movie, because I did actually really like this movie. As a neo-noir, as Al Pacino and Friedkin, it hits. It's also got what I think is maybe either something they didn't want to talk about or an accidental meta-commentary in the fact that it is about a cop going undercover and there's never any gay panic in this movie. I was expecting some gay panic. Gay panic, if you've never heard that term, just means like when straight men are worried they might look gay. No, I'm not. There's none of that in this movie. It's very much like Al Pacino's character. Everyone is treated like a human. They're not really... it's not really othering, or is it? I don't know. I'm a straight man. That's my perspective. So I could be totally wrong. Bottom line, I thought there was a really interesting thing happening here with cops and masculinity and queerness and gay culture and uniform culture of leather daddies and cops. There's even a cop night at one of the gay bars he goes to, and the irony is that he is an undercover cop, but he's not dressed up like a uniform cop, so they kick him out because he's not a cop for the theme party. And there's a lot of brilliant acting and character work on Pacino's part here, exploring the psyche of a man who is learning to open up to his queer side while also trying to do inherently masculine, violent job that is toxic, being a cop. So I think it's a fascinating movie. There's a lot to unpack. Again, I am dying to get a modern, contemporary gay man's perspective on this flick.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch this one. We did have a brief discussion on, sort of the macro and the micro, or the broader, like, the protests surrounding the production of the film. I was curious if it had anything to do with the AIDS epidemic. I mean, I guess that would have been 81, early 81.
This is 1980, so like we're coming out of the 70s. I really do struggle to think of what would have portrayed gay or queer culture in a wider sense at this time, and I feel like I should know, but even stuff like, I mean, Paris is Burning obviously predates it as a landmark film, but, or does it? Or am I just... No, Paris Burning is 10 years later. I don't know why I was assuming it was from the 70s. 10 years later. So this really is like... that anger makes sense. If you're part of a community that you're worried people already look at you like you're othered, like you're free, like you're a freak for being gay, and then the movie that is about gay culture is about a straight man infiltrating a violent S&M subculture of that. I mean, yeah. I think it's just so interesting thinking about the gall of Friedkin to brush all those concerns aside to make this movie in 1980 versus 40 years later, when if this movie came out now, because mainstream culture has come a distance, I think you could make this movie now and no one would bat an eye. They'd be like, oh yeah, it's a murder mystery set at S&M clubs. But it's just the context of the weight, the responsibility it had for representation and what that representation chose to be.
But do you think that part of the reason, again, haven't seen this movie, do you think part of the reason people were upset about it, one, you said on the one hand, Friedkin was employing a lot of people,
and they shot on locations at the bars, with the bar employees, with the attendees, and people loved it. They wanted to be in a movie. But
do you think that part of the pushback there was that there was this idea that Friedkin didn't care about representation, and that was not something on his mind at all?
I feel like the only representation really is in Al Pacino's character getting mad at the other police for treating gay people violently just for being gay. And there is a...
I guess I more so mean like that it was being used as, just used. That scene was being used as like a backdrop and had nothing to do with...
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. No, I do not think he cared about representation, other than the fact that there is like, Al Pacino's character is not a bad person. I don't think that he, or is he? I don't know. The movie's complicated. I don't want to give anything away. But yeah, no, I don't think he's concerned about that at all. I think he, even in the retrospective, like, special feature made in like the aughts, where he's talking about it as someone with 20 years distance on it, he's saying it was never about gay people. They were the backdrop for a murder mystery.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think he cares.
Yeah.
Again, my opinion is only worth so much because I'm not a gay man and I have not lived that life. So curious.
Very interested in watching this movie though.
Yeah. Well, it's Friedkin, so it's going to be a well-made movie. That takes us to the end of what did you watch? Unless anyone else there, out there.
I was just quickly in a comment on Family Video, Metaphoric Twitch, saying the last video store chain in Midwest going out of business, and then it just sounds CBD and okay. Just the fact that it's a dollar store. Pathos, the local Family Video around there, shutting down and becoming a dollar store is like such just like something that is about, like, in a weird way, sustainability and like,
yeah,
and keep, like, not just sustainability of, like, you know, I mean, weirdly, video stores were like sustainable enterprises.
Yeah, I mean, you're still, you know, beyond, like, same with libraries, really.
Yeah.
They're serving the same function.
Exactly.
Yeah, to have it be something that is so, like, dollar stores so individual by single serving of what you need.
Mm-hmm.
That is depressing. Dang. That is a bummer. That's a huge bummer.
Yeah.
Well, now that we're bummed, Shall we move on to new arrivals?
Yeah, I just want to know about
Did I
these
miss something?
popcorn companies, creepiest popcorn company commercials. I'm just curious about that. I'm going to be looking those up later.
Oh, see, I completely missed Holden Wook's chat. I didn't see Holden Wook's comment about the CBD rollout, so I was thrown off by Metaphoric's comment. I get it. So, dang. Weirdly enough, I bought movies from Family Video online a few months ago. Mm-hmm. They showed up in an ad on Facebook, and I clicked on that ad, and I bought some stuff from Family Video. I forget what it was, but...
And a mattress store.
They shipped it fast. And I was like, dang, yeah, I'll support Family Video. I'll buy some movies from you. Mm-hmm. They had their own little web store. The prices were really good. They did free shipping. Mm-hmm. I forget what I got, but I got something. Well, dang.
All right. Sorry. I just wanted to comment on that.
No need to apologize at all, Stephanie.
Thank you.
I think that takes us to the end of What Did You Watch? Anyway, a lot of really... Just a recap. Like, finished Marvel. Mm-hmm. Watched a couple of Vinegar Syndrome flicks. Watched a lot of Sailor Moon.
I'll drop... You know what? I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball on dropping the list in the chat last week. While you start going through the new arrivals, I'll drop in the chat what we watched, just so it's you know. Yeah.
Good idea. I like it. Also, since we were talking about official soundtracks, y'all, Alone 2020. All right, cool. Word. Thank you. Since we're talking about official soundtracks and songs and theme songs, hey, y'all, we have a theme song. I'm going to try and play it. I did not get to get good playback on... well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attempt to play this song. Well, see, the thing is, it's 4 minutes long, and I don't just want to sit here and listen to it. I'd rather rap it. Here's the thing. Okay. Rewind. I wrote a theme song for the show. I'm a rapper. It's a rap song. It was produced by an excellent dude named DK Thunda, who makes amazing beats. It's a video store rap. The hook is you are in a video store. It's a theme song for the show. I suck at mixing. I am not confident in my mix. So for this week's episode, it's in the end. It's over the end credits. I'm gonna get a better mix of it, and then I'm gonna put it out on Spotify, YouTube, etc. Blah blah blah, and I'll actually kind of pimp it out and say, hey, this song stands alone. Go stream it somewhere if you want to hear the whole thing. We will hear half of it during the end credits tonight, but for now, I'll go ahead and just rap you acapella. I'll just acapella rap you the verses, because you know why the heck not is what I say. Why the heck not?
Why the heck not?
I mean, why the heck not? And what I'm going to have to do, to get this ready, because I do not have it memorized. You know, I wonder if I could pull it up over here. There we go. All right. So it's 2 verses. That's 32 bars. This, just imagine this being over a grimy-ass synth beat. So this will be an exclusive. Yeah, you'll hear more of it later, and then we'll drop it. But for now, let me just drop the verses. And actually, I'm going to play the beat, and then if the beat happens to pick up through this mic, it probably won't, but if it does, hey, bonus. Yeah. Will you turn up the volume all the way on the computer? Or give me the keyboard? This is what I do when I do online streams. I go like this. Hey yo, welcome to the rental shop. Yeah, welcome to the rental shop. Yeah, welcome to the rental shop. Welcome to the rental shop. Yeah, welcome to the rental shop. Yeah, welcome to the rental shop. We keep it stocking and we never stop. You want it, we got it. From the best of Spock to Fester to Argento's opera, and it's never not. And we're so glad that you stopped in. Rock wigs like Hedwig or Bach with Bill and Ted in them all in a documentary wall that's probably 10 meters tall. There's popcorn covered in salt. We got porn if you're a dull, but soft core hidden around like Lust Caution with Tony Lung. Rewatch Face Off the Rocker Bond if you're into blowing up. Marty's Wolf of Wall Street of the Irishman if you're into the slower stuff. Joan of Arc, Barda, Godard, or Truffaut, blow it up. Yo, homie, you need a wreck, we're gonna throw you one. Just be kinda rewinded after the credits roll on one. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. Store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. In a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Yeah. From Lubitsch to Mamoulian, Kubrick to Leone and Corbucci and Suzuki, these movies take you to New Orleans. We recommend it, yeah. Never pretentious, yeah. It's never ending, yeah. Just where our head is, yeah. It's one car wine, a slaughterhouse fire. Those Hollywood nights are Hong Kong on fire. I could watch it all night, press stop and rewind and watch it again. You're strapped in and don't stop in the ride. Ask Ginger Rogers the time. Swing down to Broadway and lights. Ishii, Miike, Tarkovsky, Almodovar, Von Sternberg, Dietrich, Garbo, Garfield, Heathcliff with Transformers over on the 80s TV show. If you need it and we can reach it, move in silence like Murnau. Mishu said in Afternoons with Maya, then watch Freddy Got Fingered. It's all love for that silver screen now, baby. What that TV do? We here every week too, so don't you touch that dial, bro. We ain't skipping the previews. You are, and that's it pretty much.
You are in a video
store. So don't you touch that dial, bro. We ain't skipping the previews. Checking the EQ. I don't know if that sounded good or bad. I think my performance was fine. I'm okay with it, but I don't know if you heard the beat at all, so, you know, whatever. Again, that song will officially drop soon. Sorry we don't have a better sounding version of it tonight, but that's just because I am a poor audio engineer. I just write the rhymes. He just writes the rhymes. Look, I write sins, not tragedies, okay? Hey, thank you for dropping DK Thunder. Hey. Man, Pathos is on the ball.
I know.
Week after week after week. Anyway, that's our theme song. There'll be more there, and we'll definitely share the Spotify link and all that once it's out, because I want your honest opinion, but that's the most that I've, like, tried to put together rhymes of...
It's really fun.
Just movie. All right. I just write the rhymes. I'm a terrible mix artist. DK might write. Okay, first up on the new arrivals is Elemental Gearbolt. Shiny, foil, rainbow, metallic, back printing. I love it so much. This is a Holy Grail item. If you're not a collector, the term Holy Grail means exactly what it sounds like. It's something you've been questing for a long time. For me, this has been about 20 years in the making. Was never able to justify spending the money on it. If you were with us last week, you know that Stephanie's Christmas present to me, one of them was some eBay gift cards, and that live on the stream, we bought this with those eBay gift cards because we found a really good deal. It was a fun shared experience. This is a light gun game. What's a light gun game? A light gun game is a game you play with a light gun. So without untangling this all, this is a Namco Gun Con for PS1. I was using a third-party gun controller, and I finally got this from eBay. I had to tell y'all, there's no substitute for the real thing. That third-party one was fine, but this is like butter. This is like...
I was going to say butter.
It is. It's butter. It's butter, honey.
Although Smart Balance is good.
Oh, boy.
I just got to say.
Here you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anyway, this was it's here. We do games again. We're gonna do I'm gonna do retro streams on Mondays. I'll probably start with this. I might just start with this. I love this game so far. Obviously, probably part of that is built up from how long I spent wanting it, but I'm not at all disappointed.
Oh, the soundtrack is good.
Oh, the soundtrack is beautiful. You know what I realized it sounded like? Star Wars.
Yeah, it does. I was wondering if that one's on vinyl.
Ooh. I bet. Let's look. I bet it is on. It's probably on vinyl for like $700.
Because we have the Castlevania soundtrack on vinyl, and it is really good.
Let's see here. Elemental Gearbolt soundtrack on vinyl. Okay. There is a $6,000 sealed copy of this game.
Oh my!
Nope. There's a.
Pass?
I don't see the vinyl anywhere. We'll have to look. Seems unlikely because these games flew under the radar. This is a beautiful print ad, though, for it. Very cool. Anyway, super fun game. It's a light gun shooter. Shoot at the screen. Super fun. Not budge. That's right. Watch out, Wedge. Okay, what else is a new arrival? Let's see here. Well, first of all, we already spoiled this, so we'll talk about it. The Vinegar Syndrome movie. So not only did Body Melt and Death Row Game Show arrive, but everything from the Black Friday Vinegar sale came in. So shout out to Vinegar Syndrome. Death Machines, I know nothing about this. It is an independent movie. Says it features gratuitous violence, bizarre plot twists, and martial arts. I imagine that is a lot of words for it's not that good, but I bet it's really fun. I love the art a lot. Next up is Dial Code Santa Claus, or Deadly Games Dial Code Santa Claus. This has a few different titles. This is new to me. I wish we'd watched it over Christmas. It came just a little too late, but we'll watch it. This one seems very fun. Yeah. Nice slip sleeve too, slip cover. On the slip cover, Let My Puppets Come is puppet porno. What are you going to say about that?
You going to say more?
Silent Madness. This is one of their new ones. This is in 3D. It actually comes in 3 forms of 3D. I do not have a 3D TV, but it does come with the anaglyph red and blue, and I have not watched it yet, but I'm excited. I really know next to nothing about these. I bought them because 3D puppet porn Santa Claus horror movie. That's why. That's it. Like, puppet porn, cool. Add it to cart. Santa Claus action movie that people, a lot of my friends like, add it to cart. A newly discovered 80s slasher that comes with 3D glasses, add it to cart.
You're like my mom with bottles of wine.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, honey, I got this wine because the label had astrology signs on it, and I thought, I bet that wine is good.
I bet that's.
And I got this one, and I got this one because there is a little castle on it, and I like castles. I like medieval stuff.
This is her mom, by the way.
So I just thought it'd be good.
Metaphoric Twitch made the joke that I had in my mind. Anal glyph. Yeah, it's right there. I thought it too. Anal glyph. And glow. Well, you know what? Something's funny.
No, I like it.
Glowcat watched Dial Code over Santa Claus. Home Alone like. Yes, I've heard that. I'm really excited. And then finally, this was like a $26 or $30 Blu-ray, so I got it on DVD for $10. I don't care. I know not everyone likes DVDs anymore. I personally, look, I gotta be real. I honestly don't really see much of a difference. Maybe I'm just old, but like, sometimes I'm watching DVDs on our TV and I'm like, is this a Blu-ray or is this a DVD? I am not the dude who's looking out for like the image resolution. Anyway, this is a porno. Someone said earlier, like a sex parody. I think Pathos made a sex parody joke. This is a straight up sex parody of Westworld. It's called Sex World. What I'm excited about is that it says, on the back it says, director Anthony Spinelli's camera paints a haunting picture of human insecurity set against a science fiction backdrop. One of the biggest hardcore hits of the late 70s, Sex World is a thoughtful analysis of eroticism punctuated with striking and at times abstract visuals. One of the most thought-provoking hardcore feature films produced. I am so down for an existentially horrifying porno. Can't wait.
I'm on the fence.
Here's Sex World. Haunting, ghostly ding-dongs.
Haunting, ghostly ding-dongs.
Don't ever apologize, Metaphoric Twitch. I was right there with you.
Oh, yeah.
Stephanie's a professional comedian, so she's gonna roast us.
I dropped in the chat, low-hanging fruit is yummy and sugary.
You're just backpedaling.
No!
I'm so sorry.
No!
Okay, final thing for new arrivals before we get to movie club. See, this is how a lot of people feel. Metaphoric, I feel you. Tapes and Blu-rays, fuck DVD. It's in the no man's land. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people feel that way. Look, I grew up buying tapes. I had a membership to the Columbia House VHS Club. I got 10 tapes for a penny each, and then I was on the hook for buying $30 tapes for a year in junior high and using all my allowance, and that's how I learned about Columbia House and how not to do it. Tapes are where I started, like, absolutely, and I still buy a lot of tapes, especially if it's a movie that's never been released on anything else, especially if it's a horror movie, excuse me, from a certain era. And I have bless you. And I have boxes and boxes of tapes in storage that I can't wait to someday unbox and put up. Blu-ray, I really put off getting into for a long time until I finally got a PS3, I guess. Or PS4. Anyway, PS3. But it doesn't matter. Fact is, it took me a long time to finally start buying Blu-rays. And then I got really into it and started upgrading stuff. But the fact is that basically, like, I have been collecting movies with any disposable income or income I need for like 25 years, and the middle section of that, including all the years I've spent at video stores, was getting used DVDs from video stores, going to Blockbuster and looking to the movies to own section, and going to Best Buy like every weekend with lawn mowing money in junior high and high school. I used to mow lawns in the neighborhood and go to Best Buy and get discs. So I have thousands of DVDs. At one point, when Blu-ray first was announced, I was a member of a Facebook group called Fuck Blu-ray. I already have thousands of DVDs, which is how I felt at the time. I was like, I don't need this. I don't even have a high-def TV. What even is high-def? Now I have a high-def TV and I have a bunch of Blu-rays. But I still watch DVDs all the time. I have no opinion. Like, I have no opinion. I just want, if the movie's available, I want to archive it. Anyway. Fuck CED. That's fine. Oh, people are talking about 70% of my collection stuck. I'm 15% RCA video disc. Oh, man. Strong feelings on CED. I really want a copy of Neverending Story and of Star Wars on CED. Those are the two movies that I want to own on every single format. If you were tuned in last week, you know that a VHS copy of the Neverending Story came, and I've got two more on the way. The French-Canadian release and the original 84 slip sleeve. Or the 91 reprint slip sleeve. Anyway, my favorite movie. Ding.
Yeah, some might say your quest is a never-ending story.
A low-hanging fruit. Okay, the other big headline for us before we get off new arrivals is that we finally, again, thanks to Christmas money, your mom or your sister, someone in your family gave me an Amazon gift card.
My
sister's boyfriend, Thomas, gave me an Amazon gift card, which I used to finally buy myself a region-free Blu-ray player. Speaking of Blu-rays, because lately I found myself cruising for certain movies that I wanted to watch, and sometimes I'm like, this isn't streaming anywhere, and it's never been put on Blu-ray, and I can't play Region B, so I just caved. So I bought it, and then naturally, what did I do immediately after ordering the region-free Blu-ray player? I ordered some discs that I'd had on my back burner that I've been like, well, I want these if I'm going to be able to play them. Funnily enough, they got here today. The Blu-ray player gets here tomorrow. So for tonight, these are completely impotent discs. They can't be played anywhere in the house, but I'm excited they're here. So first up is Arrow's release of Heathers. This is, again, these are all British releases only, Region B. One of my favorite movies of all time is Heathers. I have the old Anchor Bay metal collectible tin. In fact, I distinctly remember being in Iowa City, Iowa, being 17 years old. I worked at a Subway downtown. It was one of the worst jobs I've ever had because we had to work during game days and we have lines of drunk people around the block. And there was a record store named Record Collector next door that had rare tapes and DVDs. And in their case, they had the Heathers DVD tin with the collectible Heathers ruler that says Heathers Rules and a booklet. And it was $40, which was like, I don't know, like $40 is still $40, but at the time, as a 17-year-old working at Subway, it was like completely out of my price range. And one day, my girlfriend, my high school sweetheart, just walked into Subway and handed it to me. I was like, I got this for you next door. Here. And so that's been my copy of Heathers that I've like treasured for years. Speaking of DVD, I wanted to upgrade this one. So I kind of lied. I do want to upgrade a few things to Blu-ray.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, but for the most part, here's a better way to put it. It's not that I don't care. It's just never a deal breaker.
Right.
You know, like, I guess I'd prefer to watch the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you have upgraded a few things.
I have not upgraded this, though, because this I've never seen, because this has never been released in the States. This is really why I got the player. Acciatone is Pasolini's first movie. I love Pasolini. Probably best known for Salo. He's a much more diverse filmmaker than just Salo. And TBH, Salo is a masterpiece. When looked at in the context of his full body of work, is even more impressive. But he's got a few movies that never made it here. Or they made it on DVDs that were just like terrible VHS transfers to DVD digitally and looked like shit. So this is my first from Eureka. They're a British company. I'm so excited to watch this. I've also got The Gospel According to Matthew on the way, which is my favorite Pasolini movie. And honestly, one of my Holy Grail tapes. This is a tape that I got from the video store I worked at. It's called The Gospel According to St. Matthew. It's got the sticker on it from the rental store still. And this is like one of the best movies ever made. A huge inspiration for Scorsese in Last Temptation of Christ and Silence. One of the best Italian movies ever made, certainly. This is a Marxist, neo-realist, completely non-religious telling of the gospel story where Jesus is framed as a socialist revolutionary. Amazing movie. And finally going to see it on Blu-ray. And then finally, this is an upgrade that was completely unnecessary, but it looks cool as shit. I finally got the UK version of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Yes, there's a nice Criterion disc, but I am a sucker for these thick Arrow limited editions. They look so nice on the shelf. And as with all Arrow limited editions, we got the disc, we got the booklet, and of course, we got the poster. Now, the poster for this one is a little cooler because normally it's the cover art from the disc. But this one, they went ahead and gave us some of that original artwork from the book itself.
That's cool.
Very cool. I remember one of my very hip teachers in high school, Mrs. Davis, my junior year English teacher. She was so cool. She saw me reading this book, and I remember her making a joke to me because she totally knew that I had like just discovered weed or just like had tried weed and started reading this. Ralph Steadman. That's right, Ralph Steadman. Thank you for the name catch on that. I love also that we got to catch up on the chat.
Oh yeah, we got some chat.
So, okay. Whoa, let's go back. All right, so Laserdisc is better than DVD. Hot take. I've heard that it's better quality. We've actually got a... I don't want to pull it out because we've actually got a Never Ending Story Laserdisc right below us that we've also never been able to play. Holden Wook. And Laserdisc also does just sound awesome. And yes, Will, I did work at a Subway. I worked at the one downtown. You worked at the one near the highway. Dorf on Golf on VHS. Love it. Oh, dang, I didn't know that, Glowcat, that you had a Hunter S. Thompson tattoo. I was really into Hunter S. Thompson in high school as well. It really seems like we would have been friends in high school, Glowcat, from everything that I have gleaned about you. Actually, on my new album, there's a lyric that goes, "When I get drunk, I want to be Hunter S. Thompson, just a gun beat from a drum between... When I get drunk, I want to be Hunter S. Thompson, just a drum beat from a gun between teeth. My rum punch like a gut punch, all bloody and pissed off, but stumbling less often, like a mummy in fresh cotton." So, I'm still an influence. We have not looked at the Skywalker set yet. That almost completes it, but great job, nerds, since you're a friend of the show. I'm going to go grab it. Is everyone cool with that?
Yeah.
Are we okay with that? If I go grab it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Star Wars... Oh, and it's right behind us. I thought it was out there still. Near mine. It's right here. Okay, here's the Star Wars set. This is also a UK release, but it's region free, or rather, it's all regions. So you can buy this on Amazon. Don't have to have a special player. It will play on your player. Personally, I am tired of spending... I didn't want to spend the $25 on Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker on Blu-ray. This came along for, I think it was 75 or 85 or 75 on Amazon with a gift card. So I picked it up. This was my Christmas present to myself. It's very cool. The top comes off and the front falls down. And then inside of it, it's got the 3 trilogies, each within their own set. So let's go ahead and slide out the OT original trill here. And then once you open that up, one weird thing is it's got a Roman numeral 2 on the back, as if this is also being labeled like by trilogy. Strange choice. But anyway, yeah, nothing fancy. Nothing really fancy at all. Regular fold-out case. The reason I thought this was in the other room is because I almost finished Rise of Skywalker last night. And I was going to talk about it in our... Thank you, sorry. Ooby doobums. I was going to talk about it in our What Did We Watch section. But I didn't finish it. And therefore, I don't want to offer my opinion yet. Thank you. Sorry about that. But I am making it through. I don't know if I can summon the anger to be mad at Rise of Skywalker. I think at this point I'm just like last night, what I realized while I was watching it is that I was enjoying watching it even though I knew that I wasn't enjoying watching it. And I think that's just what it is. I'll finish it and I'll have fuller, more cogent thoughts on it in a week. If you haven't finished it, then your opinion still counts since it's not worth watching. That is a fun loophole, Wedge. My opinion on it, I think, is so confused. I've seen it 3 times. I saw it 3 times in theater. Once with a homie who hooked it up on night 1. Once with my dad and my brother when we were in Iowa, because my brother's a Gen Xer, my dad's a boomer. We've all had a Star Wars trilogy, so watching all of our generations have. So watching it, the last one all together, was like a sacred symbolic act we had to do. And then I think I saw it with a friend in Austin, and I'm forgetting when I went or where we went. But I saw it 3 times in theater. At this point, I don't even care enough to not like it. It's fine. It's messy as shit. I'm actually really excited to hear what you think.
Yeah.
All right. Wedge said no. I don't know in response to what. What are region codes even, right? Yeah, region codes. If anyone doesn't know what region codes are, they are essentially locks put onto players and discs to ensure that if a company, say, gets the rights to a movie like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and wants to put it out, well, they get the rights to distribute that in a certain market. In this case, they get the rights to distribute it in the European market, whereas Criterion has the rights to distribute it in the North American market. So if you want to watch the British release of it, same movie, but say you're a person who's weird and likes the box art on this one more, well then
you have to get a region-free blue pair.
And you have to buy them online because retailers can't legally sell a region player that is region-free in a store, because the whole thing is basically to put up paywalls and gates to prevent you from pirating. Now, this might shock some of you, or maybe it will do the opposite of shock. Maybe it'll be like, of course, you look how many movies you buy. I've never pirated a movie. I don't know how. I don't know how to download a movie or download a TV show. I don't remember the last time I even watched a movie or TV show on my laptop or even on this monitor. I am a freaking kid of the 80s. Give me the tape or the disc, put it in, watch it on the TV, sit down, put the phone away, dial in. Who I am, for better or for worse. So I just like 2021, how region codes are a thing. I'm sure that everyone else has like got hard drives full of shit. I prefer a wall full of shit. I know that.
That's fine. I've never downloaded anything either. Never downloaded a song.
See, I've downloaded songs. I did that in high school for sure. I made a lot of mixed CDs, LimeWire.
Well, I made a lot of mixed CDs too, but I took my CD and uploaded it into the library and then arranged them and then burned them onto discs.
I want to hear those.
They're bad.
By the way, in no way is that a moral or ethical judgment on anyone. It's just my experience. I'm not trying to be high and mighty. I've never done it because I've never bothered to learn the new technology because I'm too set in my ways. If anything, it is a read of me. I don't care if other people pirate.
Somebody weirdly, like back when I had a different roommate, I can't remember exactly what it was, but somebody downloaded what is that movie with Beyond the Pines?
The Place Beyond Pines.
Place Beyond the Pines. Somebody downloaded that on my computer, on my laptop. I don't know why. And coming from someone who's never downloaded anything in my life, I got a weird like cease and desist, and I was like, I didn't even do this.
Yeah.
That is so me.
You have the curse of getting caught.
I do. I have the curse of getting caught. That's why I can't fuck up. You know what I mean?
Holden Wook, Wedge saying about 30% of the movies they've watched. Holden Wook knew how to do it in LimeWire, but BitTorrent is too sophisticated. I feel the same way. I knew how to do it. I knew how to download a new Eminem song, or I think that's how I discovered the Smiths in high school, was through LimeWire. I would not even know where to begin. And to be honest, I'm too guarded of the organization of my computers and my hard drives. They're too full of videos that I'm shooting. I would, like, honestly, the idea of having video files of my movies that I have to keep track of that are on hard drives stresses me out in theory so much that I never want it to be the case. I want to go, what movie is it? What? Oh, this one? Okay, cool. Here it is. We'll put it in the machine that is designed to play this movie and designed to do nothing else. Anyway, I'm an old man. Oh, boy. Okay. Do you need to take a break?
No, I'm good.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to grab myself another beverage. Would you like anything?
Will you grab me my topo that's on the counter?
Absolutely.
Oh man, I had like a Pavlovian response to, so earlier Adam said funnily enough, and I feel like that's one of those phrases that is so weird, like it's not used that often, but it's used just enough. Anyways, this is a weird Pavlovian thing. Every time somebody says funnily enough, I get this outrageous craving for funnel cake. I am not lying. I'm not making this up. This is 100% weird and true and weird. If somebody says funnily enough, my mouth is going to start watering for funnel cake. I don't know if anybody else has a weird call and response thing like that in their brain. But hey, that's just me. Funnily enough, exactly. Oh man. What else did we... I feel like I watched something on my own this week and I cannot remember what it was. Well, we did watch the premiere of RuPaul's Drag Race, which I'm very excited about. And I will not deny that after this, I'll probably watch the premiere of The Bachelor. I mean, look. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. I didn't watch those shows for so long. And then maybe like 4 years ago, my roommate at the time was it 4 or 5 years ago? My roommate at the time was watching The Bachelorette, and I was like, oh no, I'm very into this. And cut to now, the last, I guess, maybe this is the 5th year I've watched The Bachelor and The Bachelorette with great enthusiasm. And the new season of The Bachelor just premiered, so I'm going to be watching that later.
Hell yeah.
I'm really excited.
You should do a spin-off show of this where you recap that.
There's so many Bachelorette recaps.
Yeah, not hosted by you. Hosted by you with your charming, funny presence and unique perspective that only you have. Just saying, funnily enough.
Yeah, see, here's the thing.
I love how Wedge and Great Job Nerds are just openly like, I love you guys. You know that you're just like openly on a chat on Twitch, just like, I guess I'm just saying maybe you should have that conversation in a DM.
What?
I just thought it was, I'm not trying to actually criticize them. I just thought it was funny that Wedge and Great Job Nerds were like, let's figure out how to get the Star Wars 4K versions pirated. We can do this.
Oh, I missed that. I missed that.
For them, like, y'all, don't snitch on yourself.
I just saw Watch Out Wedge saying, I gotta steer clear of the Bachelorette or I will get sucked in. And the answer is, you will get sucked in. Your life will change. It's a real thing. You think you won't go there, but you go there.
Yo, I'm eternal. Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm just The chat is full of pirates.
You know?
Fine.
No, please.
Just don't look. We're working on a sitcom right now. Just don't pirate that. You just watch that. You know, pirate this show. Go for it. You can't. It's already free. By the way, that actually reminds me. YouTube.com/babylion. If you ever want to watch archival episodes of this show, that is our YouTube channel. The show is produced by Baby Lion, distributed by UltraLoop. And again, thank you for the subs earlier tonight to Holdenwook, and who else subscribed to us tonight? Oh my goodness, I feel like a bad friend.
Which? Okay.
Well, I forgot. Maybe Wedge. Adam, look up okay, I'll look it up. Looking it up right now. Oh, I get you. Okay, word. I got you. So this isn't really... Well, it's still pirating, but... It says you can find it on BitTorrent. So it's a despecialized 4K version. So it's basically the 4... So what do? They took the 4K remaster from the new set, and then they despecialized the changes. That's fascinating. Honestly, I would absolutely watch that. But... oh,
this topo is bubbly.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely 100% love to watch that. But y'all let me know. Yeah. It's a good point, Holdenwook. It's a good point. That's cool. So they actually got prints. All right. That's really, really rad.
Oh, cool.
Well, cool. Godspeed. I think that's doing the Lord's work. That's straight up film preservation work. And there is a funny line, but hold on, I'm going to grab some real quick. Because there is a funny line here.
Funnily enough.
So, a while ago I was on a Facebook group and I got into trouble because I made some meme about, like, I was making a joke about how people complain. I just made a joke about how people complain that all we have is Marvel movies, but then they steal movies, so then like studios can't bank on it. And people got so mad at me, and I was like, I'm just joking. People were like, pirating has saved movies. I agree. And I think that this sounds like that. Even the original Nosferatu was stolen from The Widow of Murnau, and that's why we have it today. Here's a great movie. It's a Hong Kong movie directed by a legendary Hong Kong director named Sui Hark. It's called Peking Opera Blues. It's noteworthy for, first of all, Bridget Lin is in it. Bridget Lin is like a superstar. She's in a lot of Wong Kar-wai movies. It's also got, it says Cherry Chung. I'm not sure if she later changed her name. No, Shuri. Okay, I was getting her confused with someone else. It's notable because it's three women. It's an action movie comedy that takes place in an opera house. It's three women. Anyway, I heard about this from a book I have on Hong Kong cinema called Sex and Zen. Great book. And I was so intrigued that I was like, okay, so I found this tape and I ordered it. And this is the official release tape from Tai Seng. They're a distributor, a Hong Kong distributor to the US. Maiden video marketing. I think they're produced in Taiwan and then shipped over here. I watched this. I had a really hard time following the plot. I really liked it, but the subtitles were all over the place. There's a guy named Jacob Rodefield who operates a website called Hong Kong Rescue. And it's just HongKongRescue.com. And because Hong Kong movies have gotten this sort of treatment, where maybe they come in on VHS, the subtitles, or they're dubbed poorly, or portions of the movie are missing. This, for instance, Peking Opera Blues, ends with title cards begins and ends with title cards that explain the historical context of the movie. They're missing from the tape. The Blu-ray of it, this is a bootleg. It's a beautiful, beautiful bootleg. And he takes care to make bootlegs that really rival the packaging of, like, TBH. I think his packaging beats Vinegar Syndrome's packaging. It's not beating Arrow, but it's beating some boutiques. He's put out 10 films so far. I have ordered all of them. They take a while to come. I'm not really expecting ours to get here until mid-February, but I ordered this a long time ago as the tester. I figured I'd order one from him if it looked nice, I'd get the rest because they're not that expensive to get his whole series. Anyway, this is a bootleg that saved this movie. This movie is remastered in 1080p. He found prints, he found old sources, he found scenes that were cut. He put it all together. He painstakingly re-edited to match the original script. Not re-edited it, but added the scenes back in. Color corrected it. Got new subtitles based on several different sources. And it's the way the movie should be watched. And it's night and day from the tape I have. So, this is just a long-winded explanation of why sometimes bootlegging is actually film preservation in disguise. Sometimes pirating, there is such a thing as ethical piracy, I think. And the same company, he's putting out a version of Hard Boiled that is apparently the best it's ever looked, including the Tartan release. Or is it Tartan? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Dragon Dynasty release. But that you mentioned Jackie Chan, it includes a lot of Jackie Chan movies. He put out Wheels and Meals, Project A, Armor of God, which we just watched and loved. So the version of Armor of God we watched was the Weinstein cut, meaning they cut it down to like 85 minutes for American audiences and dubbed it. The version we have coming is the full Chinese cut. So it's like a longer cut with original audio. And
I love Armor of God.
Dude, yeah, and Jackie's so hot. Look, I don't know where my phone went.
And the clothes in that movie.
Look, the background. Well, first of all, the background of my phone is a background that Vineet made, or Great Job Nerds made, of the race sequence. You can't see it that well. The race sequence, one of the race sequences in Speed Racer. But the on-screen background, well, you can't see it at all. But it's Jackie Chan's face from Armor of God, because I love that movie so much. And it's my inspiration every day to be a little bit more like Jackie, in the non-problematic ways. Sammo Hung also rules. We should get into that and talk about it. And someone earlier mentioned Razorback. I'm sorry for getting that comment. Razorback is a famous Australian exploitation horror movie that was written by the same person who did Long Weekend and Road Games. Road Games is one of my very favorite movies. I'm looking back here because I thought it was back here, but it's in storage somewhere. Road Games is Jamie Lee Curtis and Stacy Keach on this incredible, like, it's like The Hitcher, but better, thriller. Long Weekend is an Australian horror movie about a couple who litters and kills animals and ends up being killed by nature. Presumably, I haven't seen it yet, so it's not a spoiler. It's my assumption based on the cover in the back of the box. Razorback is a new one for me, so I got to track that down because I was thinking I actually want to do an Australian exploitation theme week on the show for myself, just to watch like a bunch in a row and have something to say. Speaking of having something to say, I gotta.
I'm just chilling out.
I know, and I need to chill out. It's all you, dude. Sorry for talking so much.
You're fine. You are fine. I think that's all for new arrivals, right?
It is. Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, I always forget new arrivals. I always talk way more because
you order all the stuff.
All right, and now we have come to the final segment of the show. You watched an Aussie horror movie this Halloween? Can't remember what it was. Was it The Loved Ones, Vineet? Wolf Creek. Oh, Wolf Creek rules. Wolf Creek. Have you seen Wolf Creek?
No. Was it on the queue shelf for Werewolf Week?
It's the name of a location. It's not actually a werewolf movie. I don't even want to say too much about Wolf Creek because Wolf Creek's pivot is incredible. I think that's part of why I like it so much. Because Wolf Creek definitely starts off one way and then hard turns.
You have it?
I got it on DVD in a box in storage. Then I bought the DVD from the video store I used to work at. Told you, thousands of DVDs, all in boxes right now. Seriously, like the majority of my personal collection, or the video store rather, is in boxes.
Yeah.
Because when I moved in here with you and took over this room from your old roommate as kind of our office and my room, I basically picked the cool spines so that I could build this wall out and have it look nice.
Yeah, this is like a fraction.
I'm fully letting you take this. Yo, seriously, kick us off on movie club, dude. I've talked way too much. I just need to see where my little graphic is.
All right, so please drop in the chat if you watched our movie club pick of the week, Coco. Hello, Disney Pixar's Coco. We have been wanting to watch this for a very long time. I forget how it got brought up last week, but we landed on this. We were between Moonstruck and Coco. Yeah, tell us what you think. Tell us what you thought. I know that this was a very special and important movie to a lot of people. I thought it was so great. It was really, really wonderful, really special. Please let us know if you watched it as well. I think something that was so great about Coco is that it was like two completely different visual worlds. One felt really grounded and really real and just had so much like depth of detail, and then the other one was just this bright neon poppy, almost like a black light poster aesthetic. And just seeing those worlds collide just felt really magical, and it really drove home the I don't know, like the magic of it.
I mean, it's magic, yeah. I was reminded last night of another movie from 4 years before Coco called, what is this movie called? Oh my god. I can't believe I just completely brain fart. My turn now. Oh my gosh, come on. Are you kidding me? Diego Luna was in it. Book of Life. Christ. Like, pop up.
Diego Luna.
Yeah, thank you, Metaphoric Twitch. Yes, you were on it. Book of Life with Diego Luna. That's from 2013. It's also about Day of the Dead. It's also this extravagantly animated. It's from Fox.
Oh.
So I want to watch that now because I'm curious. This is from 4 years later. I completely agree with you on the visual front. I remembered while watching this that someone had told me, go see this in theaters in 3D IMAX, and I wish I had.
Yeah.
Because
the animals like flying through the...
Yeah, there's so many shots that really invite you to take in a sense of scale. And I love good scale.
Me too.
It's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect animation that does it. Soul also does this. Also, this is the second time in 3 years that Pixar has made a movie where death is the backdrop, which is interesting. I certainly think kids are capable of handling that. But it is such like Soul and this. Now, I kind of had this. I'm going to get this out of the way because I loved Coco. I absolutely adored it. Seems like we've got a lot of love for it in the chat here. Wedge said I absolutely completely loved it. Palos almost saw it in theater but missed it. Very lovely, says great job, nerds. I loved it. We both cried a lot. The way, I mean, I often feel that Pixar can be manipulative, but the way that they like Pixar's whole thing, and I said this last week, is they approach the human life cycle and they force you to look at it in a way that makes you swell up with the beauty of life and gratitude for being able to exist at all. Especially Soul. And Coco does the same thing. But let me rip this band-aid off. I'm going to have the same criticism for this. It's not really even a criticism. It's actually nothing the movie could have done differently. It's not something I hold against it. It's just a phenomenon with Pixar. Pixar loves to take, we talked about this last week, complex processes and amorphous existential ideas and turn them into systems. And there were a few moments in this movie that made me giggle at that conceit. For instance, the heel main guy, I don't even know what to call his character role without spoiling it, but a guy with power has bodyguards who are his bodyguards, who are just skull bodyguards that all look the same. And I'm like, wait, so are those assigned to him because he's rich enough, or are those people who died as bodyguards and that's what they wanted? Like, what are the logistics of this universe?
Yeah, we did discuss that a little bit of like, so wait, it's just like it is here,
and no one's punished.
And yeah.
It's also interesting. I mean, like, okay, so this movie made me understand more than any Spanish class segment or anything else I've ever experienced. And granted, grew up as a white kid in Iowa. I live in Texas now, but I've never gone to an actual Dia de los Muertos celebration. So it's not my world and not my culture, not my tradition. And I felt this movie, I felt like watching this movie, I was like, oh, I get the meaning of this. Like, I'm not really, I have a very small family. I basically just me, my parents, and my brother. And like, I've never really had much of a connection with my extended family. Watching this movie made me understand the value of that and like very much find a lot of beauty and love in it. And I think that it explained the traditions of the ethos behind Day of the Dead in a way that made me feel legitimately informed and like a better person. Like I somehow understood something deeper about the world that I wasn't aware of before. And I loved that.
Yeah, and just the idea of the ofrendas and the, you know, just memory, like the tie-in to memory, it's very special. When I was in middle school, one of my favorite books was called Secondhand, and it was about a woman who's a vet tech, and she euthanizes animals. That's like her main job, and her dream throughout the whole book is to go to Mexico for Day of the Dead, to feel a sense of, because she wants to leave that job, and she wants to feel a sense of closure. And I think that's interesting, the idea of like honoring and remembering, bringing closure.
Yeah, and bringing closure not through saying goodbye, but through saying welcome back. Yeah. You're alive in memory. Yeah. That really was particularly the beautiful thing. And you know, I'm gonna be a sucker for an old woman remembering what it feels like to be a kid. Like, it's gonna get me. Beautiful, beautiful movie. But again, it's weird how Pixar wants to kind of negotiate these different worlds. Like, there's an afterlife, there's no heaven or hell, so now there's an afterlife built on structures that's like the world from Monsters, Inc., except for dead people. Yeah. And you permanently die, like in a good place sort of way, if people forget you, which I have no idea if that is actually part of the... I imagine it's not part of the identity behind Dia de los Muertos, and actually makes me really interested from a Mexican traditional standpoint of the origins of Dia de los Muertos and how it aligns with Mexican Catholicism and the idea of an eternal soul. And look, Pixar's not the company that's going to be like, let's invite controversy by discussing the afterlife. So they're going to make it a Monsters, Inc. afterlife. I just think that you really have to just suspend the disbelief an extra level and say, okay, sure, there's skeleton bodyguards, why not?
Yeah, and I agree that there is a suspension of disbelief there, but you know, I think that the lovely aspects of this movie far outweigh any sort of like logistical plot holes.
Yeah, it certainly didn't bother me. Like I said, ripping that Band-Aid off, it's a funny thing Pixar does with everything they do. They create worlds that serve the story they want to tell and don't do... I think that is my structuralist issue with Pixar, is that the rules of the worlds that they create are rules that are invented just to create parameters for the specific story they want to tell. And if that story didn't exist, those rules would be... they wouldn't matter. And so it doesn't feel as quite as like organic of a lived-in world. But... to be honest, fuck it. It made me cry. It made me grateful to be alive. It was a beautiful story. It made me feel like I understood something more about the importance of family in Mexican culture. And for that, I'm very grateful. I really dug this movie.
Yeah, it was very, very enjoyable. Some rumblings in the chat about its theater release and the short with Olaf, which I haven't seen. I don't know. I don't know if people are expounding on that.
Yeah, I just heard that was shitty. I remember hearing about that, but I totally missed it. And Pathos, I'm aware of Grim Fandango. I have not seen it, or I've not played it, or watched clips from it. I would love to. Yeah, I think that like just because Frozen is such like a white world, literally.
Yeah.
I think that the Olaf like goofy. I think it was a lot of like Hispanic families wanting to go see this movie and then being like, why are we watching this like stupid Frozen tie-in for money? Felt disingenuous, I think was the feedback I heard. And Metaphoric says they made a Dia de los Muertos / Halloween horror mix. I am gonna hit you up. Feel free to message me too if I sleep on that. One of the things I love most about Coco is how perfectly they created a practical living world into Mexican religious traditions.
Oh yeah, I remember it being super long. Like, is this a quote unquote short?
How long is it?
25 minutes.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's a hard pass.
People were like, I'm trying to go experience this family that finally represents my experience, and I have to sit through a 25-minute snowman story first.
Yeah.
I remember that. Anyway, it's, tonight's been an interesting show because I feel like so many of the perspectives that I want to be like, this is why I cannot wait until pandemic is safer or eventually ends. I try not to speak in terms of it ending because I want to be realistic and pace my expectations, but I want to be able to have guests on so badly because there are so many perspectives that we miss. I mean, ultimately, we're two white people who've lived in the same house for a year, trapped inside with each other, talking about movies. Granted, we have a male-female perspective. We have like a cis straight man and like queer cis woman perspective. But earlier we were talking about cruising, and I'm like, I don't even know. I want to talk to or hear gay people talk about this. And similar with Coco, I know how I felt. I want to know how people who practice Day of the Dead and who observe it and who have a friend does in their house, I want to know what they thought. Because ostensibly, this movie is a representation of a culture that I don't belong to, and so me commenting on it feels like I can tell you it's pretty, it's fun, it made me cry, it made me feel like a better human for having watched it. I'm happy it exists in the world. Do I know if it represented Day of the Dead correctly? Fucking absolutely, I do not.
After the movie was start, so we get there at 7 p.m. when the movie was supposed to start. We got commercials and previews.
Throatzilla. Oh my god. So Throatzilla is a Instagram. Of Dallas. I do not know this person, but I am using my work computer, and I shouldn't probably look that up over here. Not to mention it was after the movie was supposed to start. 7 commercials previews. At 7:45, Coco started. Yes, the music was also so good. Did it feel weird to anybody else when people started singing and these like traditional canciones and they were in English? I felt like strange to me.
Yeah.
I've never heard music. I've never heard that music, canciones, ballads, in English.
Yeah, that was definitely, I think, a misstep.
Yeah. Or a deliberate marketing step.
Oh, well, yes, but that's why it's a misstep.
Also, I thought it was interesting how they dealt with
the music is
that it's also weird with the voice acting, the accents that people had. It felt like this movie was tied to a Mexican American experience. Because people had increasingly thicker accents the older they were. And then our main kid, Miguel, has no accent. And it very much felt like he is it felt like a Mexican American film because of the accent use, and I wonder what conversations went into that when it came down to the voice acting, because it's that common problem where like instead of casting people to speak the language, instead of casting actors who speak the language to tell the story the language should be told in, you cast English speakers and give them accents to
Great
signify.
Job Nerds is saying that they widely released a Spanish language version as well.
I mean, of course they did. That makes sense. I just think it's interesting with the... actually, I think our poster is the Spanish language poster. It says En Noviembre on the bottom. Anyway, just a lot of... I don't know. Questions about what went on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah, me too. Me as well. All right. Any other thoughts on Coco? Any other final or the crappy Olaf 25?
I've still never seen Frozen 1 or 2.
I haven't either.
We should probably do that.
Yeah, we should probably watch Frozen eventually. You know? Let it go.
Let it go. It's a snowy time. It's snowing today. You have snow where you are?
Let it snow.
They're good. I like them. I've heard they're good.
I've heard they're good.
I'm actually very excited to watch the first one in particular. Also a big fan of Kristen Bell.
Pathos, final thought on Coco? I could really go for some hot cocoa right now.
Holding with lots of snow up there. My favorite song in Coco was Poco Loco.
Mm-hmm.
That was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
All right. Shall we discuss?
Let's discuss.
Cool. Okay. So I am going to start with my staff pick.
Okay.
My staff pick is going to be Armor of God.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. The first one. It's confusing.
Yeah, you're right.
Which one did you like more?
The second one.
So that's Operation Condor.
The first one we watched.
Which was... First one we watched is Operation Condor 2. Hold on, I gotta figure it out. It's really fucked up, guys.
The first one we watched... I mean, they're both great, but the first one we watched is the one
First one was better.
Is the one that I loved. That whipped.
Okay, so Jackie Chan movie, 1986. It's called The Armor of God. Now, in America, there's two Armor of God movies. There's Armor of God and there's Armor of God 2. Those are their Hong Kong titles. Bear with me because it gets confusing. In America, Armor of God 2 was released as, through Miramax, Operation Condor with Jackie Chan. And Armor of God 1, the first movie, was released as Operation Condor 2, Armor of the Gods. So they were released backwards in the States. The reason for this is because the first one that Miramax, the Weinsteins, wanted to put out once they got access to Jackie Chan's catalog and started porting that stuff over through Miramax was the second one because it had a bigger budget. And then they retitled it Operation Condor. Then, when that did well, they were like, well, we got another one where he plays the same character, but it was made first, but we'll pass it off as the sequel to this. They flopped. So, when you say Armor of God 1, your staff pick is known as, if you're trying to look for it to stream, you're probably looking for a movie called Operation Condor 2, The Armor of the Gods.
Yeah.
Okay. So confusing.
It is so confusing. That's the first one we watched, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one where he's in the freaking... So Armor of God is basically an Indiana Jones knockoff with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
He plays an archaeologist, and it rules.
Again, they're both great. So if you end up watching one or the other, you're in for a treat. It's Jackie Chan, so...
I don't think I like any movie star more than I like Jackie Chan. Okay, here. Steph's pick is Armor of God, spelled the British way, or aka Operation Condor 2, The Armor of the Gods. Okay.
Also, everyone in this movie is a fashion icon.
It's amazing.
Okay. Just gotta get that out there.
My staff pick is Streets of Fire. It's Walter Hill. It is the movie he followed up The Warriors with. Diane Lane plays a rock star. It's got an incredible soundtrack. She's kidnapped by Willem Dafoe. And it's a neon-drenched rock and roll fable, baby. It rules.
Good staff picks.
These are good staff picks. These make me excited.
That'd be a fun double feature.
Why don't we do it? Maybe we'll get lucky and the rest of our Hong Kong rescue discs will come. It takes him a while. He does it. It's a one-man operation. I'm actually really inspired by this guy's commitment to archival.
Yeah, I think that's really, really awesome.
It is.
All right. So now we've got our staff picks. We're moving on to the movie club pick of the week. I am going to pitch, like I said last week, I'm going to pitch Moonstruck.
And we still need to watch Turbo Kid for Pathos so we can talk to Pathos about Turbo Kid.
Oh, yeah.
We do need to do that. I'm kind of with you on Moonstruck, though. I kind of am like, I'm not trying to dig my heels in too much, but we almost landed on it last week.
We did. We were one vote away from Moonstruck last week. I said that I was probably going to watch it anyway because I had just heard that retrospective on the Sunday Read on the Daily.
Right.
About how it had a resurgence in popularity during the pandemic, and I've never seen it, and I am so curious.
Snap out of it.
Snap out of it.
Snap out of it.
That is my suggestion.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet and just order it now because we're a video store, and guess what? We want to have the movies in the video store, so we're just going to order it.
Looks like Pathos agree with Moonstruck.
I found that really cute, the way you just said that.
I just read it.
You just went, looks like Pathos agree with Moonstruck.
Watch out, Wedge. In for either for Movie Club. Glowcat, never seen it, so I'll give it a watch.
Hell yeah. All right, well, cool. I'm going to go ahead and see if it's streaming. Oh, it's streaming for free on Prime. Do you want to buy this? No.
No, yeah.
Yeah?
I told you last week I would buy it.
It's your copy then. Are you okay with dropping that?
Yes.
All right, we're going to buy the Criterion disc. We're going to have it by tomorrow, so we'll watch it. Awesome. I'm actually really, really excited to watch this.
Me too.
I'm very attracted to Cher, and I don't mean sexually. I am attracted to her. You know what I mean? I'm not like
synergy.
Yeah, I don't look at Cher and think like, hubba hubba, give me some of that. I look at Cher and I think like, I should be close to this godlike energy.
Yeah. Remember that episode of Buffy? Was that season 6?
Oh, Metaphoric. Yeah, the Link Hong Kong Rescue. Season 6 of Buffy, Life After Love.
Is it season 6? When she goes to her college roommate.
Yeah.
Demon, and she's playing that song on.
That's season 4, episode 1.
You're right, it's season 4. I don't know why I thought it was season 6.
Yeah, she drops out of college. By the way, at a certain point, we're just going to have to do a full-on Buffy rewatch and turn this into a Buffy pod at a certain point.
Yeah, well,
because it's the best.
Well, maybe we can do a separate stream that's all about Buffy.
Why not? There's actually a really good podcast called Slayer Fest 1998.
There's also Buffering the Vampire Slayer. I don't know if it's any good.
Oh, I don't either. I don't listen to podcasts. I just make them.
Just like, you know.
I'm just joking.
The Bachelor situation. There's a lot of people talking about Buffy. Oh, yeah. We definitely do Angel. And you do the thing where you know, synced up, linked up. Which was, if y'all know...
Ernest face Glowcat as you should. You're my hero. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was going to say, if you know, a few weeks back, I was talking about watching Buffy in real time, starting with episode 2. I watched every episode in real time. Same thing with Angel. So I watched the crossover episodes in real time. You know what I mean? My sister and I labeled... Well, I guess this is kind of a spoiler, but not totally. It's for the first episode of Angel, but if you remember my discussion on taping the episodes of Buffy and Angel to watch later because I was at band practice, we labeled the first episode of Angel, the one where Doyle, quote unquote, dies.
That's not the first episode of Angel. That's like a pretty big spoiler for season 1.
I didn't say anything. What? The first episode?
Doyle?
No, not Doyle. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Forget it! I'm just giving you shit.
Set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it. There's a really fun... Did you...
It was the first episode.
Well, then I'm thinking of something else. But did you think it was fun when... when Angel leaves Buffy and goes to LA to start his own show, the first episode of the next season of Buffy, she gets a phone call, says hello, and no one picks up, and she hangs up. And then if you watch that episode of Angel, he calls her and she hears her hello and hangs up before talking.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
All right, cool. Yeah, for sure.
Roll the dice.
Oh man, yeah, that I didn't actually end up watching that because I want to do a full rewatch, but yes, I love
Where it snows?
Buffy and Angel so much. The one where it snows, that's right.
I'm just like out of control right now.
We should do that. I mean, maybe we can pick, I don't know. Look, just because we love Buffy, like we probably are dating because of Buffy. I think the fact that Buffy was in both of our Tinder profiles is probably why we ended up going on a date. So, you know, and I have a Buffy tattoo here. So, here. So.
And I have a Buffy tattoo here.
Yeah, it's a teardrop tattoo.
No. Memories.
Adam, we started dating because of Buffy too. That's true! We would have anyway, bruh.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah, I was like a huge... Ooh, an X-Files rewatch. That sounds fun too.
Yeah. Oh, my mom loved the X-Files.
Dang. Yeah, I was a big Buffy pimp at Toy Joy when I worked there. I think all in all, I got 5 of my coworkers to watch the entirety of the show. And I think 5 of coworkers / best friends ever. And I think 5 of them, I think everybody said that's one of my favorite shows. And I was like, I agree.
Yeah, and Pathos.
I don't think you can watch it without loving it.
The musical episode, Yes, Once More the Feeling, is so great. And speaking of movie theaters, I used to go to the Draft House. Used to do sing-alongs for Once More the Feeling, and you would come in, and you would typically there would be like costume contest and a couple of warm-up episodes. Sometimes there would be like Firefly. Oh no, actually I did 2. I take that back. I did 2 things. They used to do 2 warm-up episodes of Firefly and then the movie. They also did sing-alongs with Once More the Feeling, and you would vote on a warm-up episode of a different episode. I think one time I went and it was Hush, so I got to watch Hush and then do the sing-along, and it was an interactive sing-along, so there were like bubbles and vampire teeth and all sorts of fun stuff. But then I think they got a cease and desist or something.
Fox cracked down on those.
Yeah. They were really fun though. I think I went to 3 before they.
You did?
Yeah.
I always wanted to go to one of those. Never did.
So fun.
Well, hey y'all. Speaking of the Buffy musical, here's the Mondo vinyl soundtrack for the musical episode of Buffy. Complete with, we got this for Christmas from your sister. Mm-hmm. Complete with Sleigh Bill. Mm-hmm.
She actually picked this up on a whim a long time ago in like spring. Mm-hmm. She texted me and said, "Do you have this?" And then, you know.
And blood red vinyl as well.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love the blood red vinyl. So this is like something that I always meant to buy, because obviously I actually own this on CD. I bought it on CD in college. And
she does too, and she has autographs of almost every cast member on their picture in the.
Oh really?
Book.
That's amazing. That's truly amazing. She's a big con person.
Yeah.
I had always meant to pick that up, and then I think I just took it for granted, and then we got it as a gift, and I looked it up, and it's out of print and like hard to find, and like I think it was like $100, and I was like, oh my god, thank God she got us this for Christmas. That's so rad. She picked it up,
like I said, she knew that they were going out of print, and she just was getting herself one, and thought, you know, I'll just tick that cart up to 2.
Love it. Well, thank you. I think
so.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, y'all. Tonight was a really fun show. Just a recap. We started off asking what you watched, what we watched. We talked about Marvel movies a little bit. We talked about some Vinegar Syndrome releases that were new to us. We even briefly talked about Sailor Moon. We learned a little bit about Tony Stark from Pathos. Mm-hmm. Glowcat also taught us about Munchie and the sequel to Munchie that we did not know existed.
Yeah.
Stephanie saw Pootie Tang for the first time.
I did.
We unboxed some British Blu-rays that we're finally going to be able to play tomorrow, as well as a holy grail of a PlayStation game, an Elemental Gearbolt. As a reminder, retro streams with me are coming up starting next Monday. It's called Rapper Playing Games.
We synced up the New Year's countdown with When Harry Met Sally, one of my favorite movies. I've never done that before, and that just goes to show you can always interact with your favorite movies in new and exciting and special ways.
I really like that.
Thank you.
It's like weirdly inspiring. Like very wholesome and inspiring. We debuted kind of the new theme song, by which I mean I rapped it. Well, you're going to get to hear that when we cut to credits here. You will hear it over the end credits.
Unmastered.
You're going to hear the unmixed, unmastered version from the first chorus through the second verse. There will be a version that sounds nice coming to Spotify very soon. We talked about bootlegs, the ethics of bootlegging, how sometimes it can mean saving a movie. And finally, we dived into Coco and Pixar's construction of magical alternate realities. As well as talked about representation in movies a couple times, for better or for worse.
Yeah, and just to recap for next week, our movie club pick of the week is Moonstruck. My staff pick is Armor of God, aka Operation Condor, to the armor of the gods.
And mine is Streets of Fire. So watch those if you think they sound cool. Now, one thing with staff picks is that we always throw them out there as just kind of like, here's something we liked, we recommend it. But you know, we never like put pressure on it the way we do with movie club, where it's like, if you watch this we can talk. But you know, same with staff picks. Like movie club is, I think, more of a buy-in with everybody, but if there's ever a staff pick that intrigues you, I know I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on Streets of Fire if you get around to watching it this week.
And you know, there's no rule that says that one of our staff picks isn't a movie club pick later down the road.
Ding dong da doodles. Please go ahead and subscribe to us on Twitch. That's UltraLoop. Tomorrow night it's going to be Aliens for Humans. That is Rez and Penny with their family playing Among Us. On Thursday night, it is going to be Keelan Haynes streaming some gameplay. I will be back on Monday with a retro stream, followed by this next Tuesday. You can follow me at Protextor on socials. That's Protextor. That's my name.
And you can follow me at Flock of Schmeagles with an underscore in between those words. If you see me hanging out in the chat or here, I'm DJ Stephanie Michelle.
And you can follow this show on Instagram, where we always post a little graphic recapping what the staff picks and movie club are, as well as fun bonus content like, I don't know, me putting filters on my face and doing funny voices while playing games. Stuff like that. Follow You Are in a Video Store on Instagram for that high quality content. Thank you to people who joined us for the first time tonight.
Yes, and thank you to our regulars holding it down in the chat.
Absolutely. Holden Look, Wedge, Great Job Nerds, Glowcat, Pathos. Thank you for being here for the first time, Metaphoric. This is really, really, really still a highlight of the week. So, I guess we're ready to cut away. This is going to be the end credits. You're going to hear that song, and that's how we're going to end the show from now on. So, any final words, Stephanie?
I don't think so.
Be kind, rewind. Black Lives Matter. You have been in a video store. And get home safe. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. Store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. Store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. Store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video. From Lubitsch to Mamoulian, Kubrick to Leone and Corbucci and Suzuki, these movies take you to New Orleans. We recommend it, never pretentious, it's never in it, just where our head is. It's Wong Kar-wai and a Slaughterhouse 5. Those Hollywood nights are Hong Kong on fire. I could watch it all night, press stop and rewind. Watch it again, you're strapped in, ain't no stopping the ride. Ask Ginger Rogers the time. Swing down to Broadway and lights. Ishii, Miike, Tarkovsky, Almodovar, Von Sternberg, Dietrich, Garbo, Garfield, Heathcliff with Transformers over on the 80s TV show. You need a hint, we can reach it. Move in silence like Bernal Melly is Mishu. Spending afternoons with Maya, then watch Freddy Got Fingered. It's all love for that silver screen. Now baby, what that TV do? And we here every week too, so don't you touch that dial, bruh. We ain't skipping the previews. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. Store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video store. You are in a video store. Say you are in a video. You are in a video. You are in a video. Yeah, welcome to the rental shop. Yeah, welcome to the rental shop. Welcome to the rental shop. Yeah, welcome to the rental shop. Yeah, welcome to the rental shop. Say you are in a video. You are in a video. Rent that shit double. Yeah, 2 for 1, baby, on Tuesday night. Yeah, at the popcorn, I'm feeling just right. Should we get a couple new releases and a couple old ones? Yeah, no, I think we can get both. We have time. We'll watch them. Yeah, if we don't get around to that one, I'll pay the late